Yeah.
Sweet.
No editing, guys. So no addresses and not too much.
Oh, no addresses.
No addresses with names attached to them.
Okay. Justin will probably have some addresses, but
We'll get banned from YouTube. It's okay. Fine.
First time, go out with a bang. Why not? All right. Well, I can't say that I've been on at the beginning of a meeting in a while. So I'm seeing some names I think are new, but it might just be new to me. Audrey, is that how I say your name? Have you been on a call before? No, do you want to just tell us kind of where you're at? No. That's
Audrey,
all right.
come on.
Yeah, none of us
Audrey.
We're all here to support. Just where you're at, kind of where you're at in your journey. If you've, just heard of wholesaling, don't know anything, if you are in real estate at all, if you don't even know anything about real estate, like all walks are totally supported. Or you can type in the chat if you really don't want to say anything here.
Audrey, we're friends here. We're just family, Audrey. Come and talk to us like family.
Truly, here to support, here to hear where you're at and see if we can help at all. Or just even get to know you a little bit. Do you know how to unmute? There you go. Oh, we still can't hear. At least I can't.
Audrey, try right beside your microphone, there's a caret. There's like an arrow up. Click that and change your mic. It might be that because we can't hear you.
Yo.
What's up, Corey?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm going to be out of here in like 20 minutes. I got to go to my kid's concert.
Nice.
She's doing a cover of Slayer.
I love it, Corey. That's awesome.
We're going to pause for intermission here. Just give us a live stream of that, please.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, let's do that. Hey, nice hat, John.
Yeah, we just got him in.
I can't wait to get mine.
Was that a shameless plug on the hat, bro?
That was an absolute shameless plug on the hat.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
For mine either.
Yeah, we'll have yours come in.
Oh yeah, Meg, love your background.
Yeah, we actually stole these hats literally took us like 2 months to come out with because we were bouncing around between all these like New Hampshire POS companies that were like doing like, below par, in my opinion, kind of quality. And I'm like, what the heck are we gonna do? I was like, where's our good company, this and that. And I love wearing the sub 2 hat, right? So I was like, what's this company, right? And I was looking underneath and I was like, let's call them. I was like, I like that hat. So we literally have it's literally the same brand. We stole it from Pace.
What did it cost you per hat?
I think it came out to like 28-ish, I think. 26,
right.
28, something like that.
I got a pretty sick logo for my LLC, so I'm gonna try to put that on a hat.
And I like it because it kind of, it's just like, it's like that leather, I don't know, logo.
Yeah.
Nice hat.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same type of.
Don't derail us too much. Y'all are derailing us. We're in new people introduction. Let's meet some new people. What are y'all doing?
We only got a
Thank you, though.
couple.
It's a nice hat. I really like your hat. And I love the background logo. Here, let me hook mine up.
Thanks.
How
Who's
many
new?
people?
Audrey's new, but she is having trouble with her mic. Audrey, if you want to just throw in the chat kind of like where you're at, how we can help you. We're all here to help and support. So we'd love to hear where you're at and physically located and kind of in your real estate journey.
Are you moderating, Chelsea?
What's up?
Are you moderating?
Yeah, Tim and I,
Nice.
under a week.
Hell yeah.
Been here.
And I think the only other new name, at least new to me, is Robert. Have we heard from Robert before? Robert Hood?
Oh no,
Robin Hood?
this is my first accountability call.
Love it. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let us know where you're at, kind of like what your experience has been or non-experience in real estate and kind of how we can help or what you're looking for.
So I'm really new. Like I think I first ran into Pace online like a month ago. I'm in sub 2, I'm in Gator now. My avatar is a Gator. I'm working on that and just kind of getting going here.
Love it. Where are you located?
Eastern Mass, Burlington, Massachusetts.
Okay. Have you gotten into like the Discord and seen how like your local leaders and
Yeah,
Who-
I've been in Marsha and Mario's trainings a couple times past couple weeks. It's been great.
good? Good. Is there anything that we can do to help you out? Is there anything you're kind of feeling stuck on or?
Not at the moment. Today I got kind of stuck. I started reaching out to what's it called, title companies
Yep.
to offer my services as a Gator and got absolutely nowhere. Got frustrated for about an hour and then went back into the Gator trainings and got the exact answer that I needed from Pace, and that's what I was watching about 9 minutes ago before I jumped on here.
Love it.
What'd you learn?
Just outreach for newbie Gators, like, you know, sniping into YouTube comments and wholesale Facebook groups and whatnot.
Did you learn anything in particular with like the title company and how to overcome any objections?
No, I haven't learned any ways to legitimize myself to title companies yet, but definitely getting started with Facebook groups and wholesale groups and YouTube comments.
Very cool.
I would say leverage the sub 2 group too.
For sure.
It just gives you an extra layer of kind of trust in people because that can be a tough thing in Gator. Just, you know, you have to do so much vetting.
Mhm.
So, you know, it just gives you that added layer of maybe a little bit more, you know, people are on the same page and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, what drew you to Gator? What's that? You know, what brought you to that as your avatar?
It just seemed like the best way to jump right in because I am broke as hell at the moment and it was low entry to get in and it seemed like a shortcut, like an unbelievable shortcut to get in as long as you're consistent. And that's kind of the plan.
Cool. I would also suggest just finding some other Gators who are actively doing deals and see if you can maybe plug in with them or just get their feedback on, you know, how they got started because Gator is pretty new.
Mhm.
So it's something that, you know, anyone doing it kind of started out new in the past year or so. So
Gotcha.
some people who might just be a few steps ahead of you and really dig into their suggestions.
Absolutely.
Love it. And, you know, as always, we're all here to help however we can.
Appreciate it.
Welcome. Love it.
Thank you.
I think Audrey said in the chat, Branford, Connecticut, a newbie 2 months in. Awesome. Do you know what you might want to be focusing on, Audrey? Or are you just kind of in the stages of figuring that out? Because that can be tough. Not quite sure yet. Not sure yet. Yeah, that's definitely one of the hardest things getting started. So if there's any way that we can help you, I see people reaching out in the chat and stuff. Definitely connect with anyone in your area and anyone within sub 2, leverage all of us, and however we can help, let us know. Yeah, Tim, the beginning is super overwhelming. So you're not alone if that's how you're feeling. Totally normal, almost necessary part of the process. I don't think I see anyone else new. So I guess if we have any announcements, I know that
Who did Ari
Joe,
want? Oh, you got him? Okay.
what's up?
No, you were going the same direction I was.
Cool. Yeah, I know that Joe just kind of put something together for Connecticut on Monday, noon at Starbucks. He put it in the Discord. I don't know if he looks like he's off. He's at work, so he's off doing something. But maybe we can get that dropped in the chat too. So if anyone's in the
Oh,
area,
he's back.
there he is. I think he said he couldn't connect. Hey, Joe. If you want to drop that in the chat, because I think you said you can't connect to be able to talk with us, which is totally cool. But this coming Monday, noon, Starbucks in somewhere, Connecticut. And then we're having a main meetup. We don't really have any details yet, but that's going to be April 1st.
It'll be in Portland, downtown Portland. It'll be at I think it's 1 Commonwealth Ave, but I'll put the details together later and share it with the group. It's gonna be live. And
Yeah.
by live, I mean lit. I think that's the right word.
Yeah, so we'll drop those details soon. All right, cool. Joel will be back at 7, so we'll catch those details at the end of the meeting. And then the quarterly, it's a little bit of a ways, but April 22nd, is that right? April 22nd, Southern New Hampshire University. Time, Tim? What time is that?
I don't.
1 p.m.
Check the pin messages. I'm pretty sure. It's
Yeah,
go-to answer.
1 p.m. Don is telling me.
Yeah, it's 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Yes, at SNU. They said you can get there earlier, like Sharky said, like 12:30, because they're still going to be setting up, but it officially starts at 1. And get your tickets early. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I already got my ticket.
I think registration is from 1 to 2.
I think it's going to be more expensive at the door.
Yes, that is
if I'm not
correct.
mistaken.
1 to 2.
Yeah, it is more expensive at the door.
Yeah. I should have had like Corey talk about this or something. He's been way more involved.
And they will sell out as soon as it goes public. Just
Yeah.
FYI, everybody.
Yeah. It's what, like 1/3 booked or something already?
Yeah. I think there was like
Yeah.
44 spots, I think.
So it's going to be,
They got taken up.
yeah, going to be a freaking awesome event. Like panel, just a bunch of really cool people in the room. If you know anybody who you feel like would really add to the community, add to networking, add anything to the sub 2 community and beyond that, feel free to send them that link. But like Tim said, it will sell out. So once it's public, it's a free for all, but it's going to be a hell of a night. So if you can come, highly suggest.
Probably get a hotel too. It's gonna get wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure there will be after.
There's a couple hotels that are pretty local. You can get, there's a one on True Hotel on Elm Street. That's fairly new. That's right on Elm Street, the main, everything's right there, bars, restaurants. So I might even do that. Let me show you something I made. Can you, oh, what the hell? You guys can't see that?
You gotta unblur your
How the
background.
hell
I
do I-
think.
All right. Oh, there we go.
That is awesome.
Yo, dope.
So I want to do something with this where like, it's kind of like a trophy, right? Like each group can somehow like win it. Like it passes from group to group or from like team to team for whatever. I don't know like how you'd win it or earn it yet, but that's kind of like the idea behind why I made this.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And
The
like the
Stanley
idea
Cup
you
of,
bring it.
the Stanley Cup of sub two? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically. It was black. I spray painted it. I'm gonna put a reel together. I took video and photos of me making it, so I'll put a reel together at some point and put that out. Anyway, I wanted to share that. That
Yeah.
was cool.
Pretty cool.
That
Love
was
that.
awesome.
We
Deal board,
definitely
you gotta-
could like.
Deal
do-
board.
What's
what'd you
that?
say?
Contracts on the deal board.
Oh yeah,
Like a
most
leaderboard.
contracts maybe, or most creative deal, or highest amount deal, or
No
Oh.
doubt.
yeah.
We
Let's
have
make sure-
we have about 10 minutes before we start up with Justin. Does anybody else have anything that they wanted to announce here?
What's Justin doing?
Oh, Justin's gonna lay it down the sauce tonight.
Man,
How do you
I
say
gotta.
that? I'm getting too old.
Justin,
He's
I
gonna
love
do
the new
what?
background, new artwork, man. Looks wicked good.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, this was spur of
Oh,
the moment.
sweet.
So whatever I'm just here for support, obviously for my friends. So whatever you guys need from that, the wrap side or the dispo side, I think that's what we're gonna just chat about. So think about dispo, and anyone has dispo questions. I might not be able to solve them all. There's some higher level people too doing it, but I'm here to help. Tim and Chelsea, I think you guys are running this one, right?
Yep.
Love it.
Time to take over tonight.
Love it.
Yeah, but if anyone else has anything before we we're gonna get started with Justin and Dispo and stuff at 6:30. So if there's any other announcement that anybody has, anything cool like Corey's sub 2 trophy that we'll definitely be trying to figure out something to do with. Yeah, any wins of the week, of the month so far, love to hear it.
I'm working on $2 million cash deal. Hopefully I can get that to go through
Oh yeah.
on the retail side, but still, that's pretty sweet.
Tell
Um,
us
I
about
get-
it.
Huh?
Tell us about it, Corey.
Oh, they're from Australia. They live in Kansas right now. They're looking to come out here and just purchase a property cash, a real nice property, a farm with some acreage. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. To relocate out here.
Nice. I thought you
Um,
were talking about that one with the that you and Z and Ari were.
Oh,
working
the
on?
one in Nashua.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
so.
have to revisit that. But I gotta take off. I gotta go to my kid's concert. So
Okay.
Hey, Corey, real quick, do you want me to ask some questions about the lead type that you're going after here so you can watch the recording and see if there's any valuable information on that?
oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Cool. I'll throw some questions out there for you.
And I should be back before this is over. So
Right on.
we'll see. All right, guys, take it easy.
Cool. Have a blast.
Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, so like I'm at work right now. It's kind of difficult to do all this and navigate a conversation, but like I said, I go on break at 7. So yeah, so I just came across a property today. A 3-family unit. It's gonna need some little bit of renovation, but if anybody's looking to buy in Connecticut, particularly in the Meriden area, I just got to run some numbers on it tonight. But yeah, I'll throw it in the New England Discord once I run those numbers.
Cool. Love it. Give us a quick rundown on the Monday thing too. Your Monday.
Yeah.
midday
So.
meetup.
Hold on a second. Yeah, so that started off just like Christy Ann wanting to meet up with some sub 2 members, and so I was like, yeah, I'll meet up with you, like, let's go. And then somebody else wanted to join, and then like I always have to go like 110, so I was like, why don't I just organize a whole event? So I contacted Starbucks, And they were like, I was like, yeah, like 10, 15 people. They were like, I don't know. So we're just going to show up. And, like if a bunch of people end up showing up, we'll figure it out. But, now, like, I'm new to Sub 2 too. Like, I'm like maybe 3 weeks in, but community is important, man. Like, networking is so dope, and I've met so many awesome people here already. I try to participate in as many of the Zooms as possible, and I try to get on the phone with like as many of you guys as possible. Like, I'm always down to network, always down to learn from you guys, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have the same mentality. So I figured, why not, like, let's all just get together and kick it and like figure out who we are, and let's make those friendships. Let's make those connections. You know what I'm saying? So
Freaking love it. That's what it's literally all about. So love that you're running with that. And where are you? Do you know what you're wanting to do in your business? You said you're new to Sub 2 the last few weeks. Where are you at? And is there anything we can do to help you?
Yeah, like Drew and I are gonna set up my CRM probably tomorrow. The plan is to like link up Saturday, go like drive him for dollars. I'm just trying to get up under that dude because he's cool, and he's been in the game for a little while. We vibe pretty well, so yeah, like I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to figure out my own path and like carving it out as I go, and whatever works. Like, I just want to be able to help out as many people as I can, achieve that financial security that I'm looking for, and be able to help other people accomplish their dreams and everything that they're looking for too. So I got lofty goals and like lofty dreams, but I'd rather aim too high than aim too low. So let's get it.
Heck yeah. Well, sounds like you're doing all the right things and you're in good hands with Drew. So hell yeah, man.
All right. I'll be able to participate more at 7, but like I got this massive job that I got to do right now, so I'll be able to listen in on what's going on, but I'll be back in like a half hour.
Perfect.
All right, later.
All right, guys. Anything else before we get going on dispo, wraps, etc.?
I'll just broadcast that I am actively looking for my next deal, my next flip. So any of our wholesalers out there who are looking to dispo something, reach out to me. Southern New Hampshire, northern, East Coast Mass, hit me up.
Any offers on that house, Jonathan?
Say again?
Any offers on your house yet?
Oh, so not everybody knows. So I accepted a $5,000 asking offer.
Yes.
Yo,
That's awesome.
congratulations,
Nice.
man.
Was that
Yeah.
7 days?
Congratulations.
7
That's
days
awesome.
on market?
Yeah, so,
Congratulations.
yeah,
That's awesome.
exactly. Over the weekend, and then we had the offer on Monday, so I was pretty excited about that. Pretty solid
Yeah.
offer as well. Good
Awesome.
finance.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
surprise.
That's awesome.
No surprise, because that was a sweet flip that you did. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Thank you.
What
Thank you.
other
That's awesome.
what other offers came in? Or that
So we had the 5,000 over asking, and then we had one. So we listed it for 320. We had another one offer for 310, and then we asked them for their highest and best, and they came in at asking. So it was a choice between asking or 5,000 over asking. Those slight differences in their financing and down payment. So it was close enough that obviously I was able to go with the $5,000 more.
So awesome.
Pretty happy, and then actively looking for the next one, guys. So.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You're
Congrats,
just
man.
crushing
That's
it out
cool,
there.
man.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys got anything else, we can do it later. I think we're gonna get going with Justin. If you guys don't know Justin, he is like an OG in the community. He's doing deals up and down the East Coast. If there's a creative deal to be structured, he's your guy. He can handle like huge reno projects, loves getting his hands dirty in those. He's got multiple YouTube videos with Pace. So if you haven't seen those on Pace's channel, definitely check those out. It's on a project that he recently finished, crushing it on social media. Basically just huge respect for this guy. I work with him, and he's building out his team as we speak, doing some crazy things and just gonna get bigger and crazier. So he's gonna talk through some dispo stuff. He's got lots of JV stuff going. And yeah, dispo been heavy in wraps lately. So if you guys have any dispo or wrap questions, you can throw them in the chat or pipe up as we go. But I think he's gonna show us a few wrap deals he's got going on and just kind of talk us through some dispo stuff and all the goods. And appreciate him for taking his time.
No, you're killing it right now. Good job. Hell yes. Give you a little applause. So, yeah, thank you so much. Hey guys, hold on one second. I'm gonna change mics.
Any better? How's that?
Oh yeah.
Right on. No, good job. Thank you so much. So this was spur of the moment. We can do an open forum in a way, but I mean, there's other people, like I said, doing dispo. We just happen to be doing wraps on a higher level right now. And it's our book of business. And we're all in sub 2. It's a lot of creative finance, but listen, I'm a wholesaler. That's how I started in a way. And we're doing everything we can to just monetize anyone's deals or anyone that brings something or has something. We need to look at it with, put your head on a swivel and look at it, figure out every avenue of exit. And predominantly around, my peers and everyone around us, it's wraps. Like that's just the name of the game right now. Yes, wholesale is great, but like I said, creative, that's just the way it is. So I wanted to, listen, we're doing a lot of stuff in sub 2, obviously, and JV is a huge thing, but I'll talk about right now is Ari, so Ari brought a deal that was on market with an agent. And we're seeing this repetitively now, and we have one in Colorado, but this one happens to be in Jacksonville, Florida. So if someone has the control that can allow me, oh, thank you. So let's take a look here. All right, guys, I'm going to share my screen on the preview. So you can see that.
Yep, you're good.
Right on. All right. So, you're just looking at a Canva, advertisement that we made, but you're obviously going to see that we have seller finance and we have some Spanish. We're just throwing Jacksonville, Florida. We have a disposition website that we're, David, who's in here, Adwa, he's, building out. So we have our active inbound lead generation coming to our website. That's mycreativeoffer.com. But then I don't want those two mixing, right? We're looking to sell deals. We're looking to get the other side of it. We're looking to get end buyers. So we have homesforme.me, and that's where you would go and see, we're still building it out. I believe it's somewhat active, but that's where we're listing, previous deals, existing deals, pending deals, every deal. We want to show credibility. We want to show that we are doing deals. So, but this is just something you'll see on Facebook Marketplace. So this might be the first main page, and a little bit of Spanish, because guys, if you don't know, now you know. Predominantly Hispanic, Latino, maybe I can use the word undocumented, might be the more of where and you guys all know if you listen to Pace's studies, that's typically where it's someone who might not be bankable, but has great income, has great cash, has great, everything, hardest working people, they just might not be bankable. So we're here to provide that and solve that problem. And we want to get to that. We want to get that message out. So, bright colors, 354, not a big deal in a wrap. Truthfully, it's all about the terms, of course, but seller finance, let's say, no credit, no banks. Yeah, that could be in Spanish, with affordable options. So we'll do that. And then something again, affordable terms available. And we play this, all different. So again, no banks, bad, no credit. We don't care. Seller financing available. And then, so what we really are encouraging the people to do now that we're graduating this dispo, before it's all Facebook Marketplace. And I want to share that because that is madness. And I'll get into the reasons why, but we're trying to really funnel people, just like we're all into funnels almost on a daily basis. Everywhere we see is a funnel. That's what we're trying to do. but we're trying to do it not really for sales to bring, subscribers or anything. Of course, that would be great for something else. We're just really trying to funnel for the easiest and most cost-effective way to get the data that we need to qualify someone, but to get them the information they need as well. So just think about that, because yeah, when you're selling one deal, it's fine. But when you have 7 at the same time, it's Chelsea's probably seen some of it. It's not pretty. And if you came in, it's a bunch of chickens clucking in Zoom that were just almost all complaining, but it's good. It's a positive thing, but it gets daunting.
Can
So
I
let me-
ask you a quick question, Justin? Is
Yeah, I
this
was just
like
gonna say-
more of a landing page, basically, so people can go to whatever on Facebook or whatever the situation is, and they can click this as a landing page to where they can get the details that they would normally do a DM or a PM to you, and they can click this and go to a landing page and get maybe some of those details, so you're not bogged down from trying to respond to those kinds of Facebook messages and stuff. Is that right?
1000%. That's all you really
awesome.
want to do. I mean, listen, guys, the name of the game is, phase yourself out and do your highest and best tasks. Do the best you can. And now we're starting to that's where we're getting. We're starting to hit our stride where it's, oh shit, it's making sense now. Like so we hired our dispo team. We're hiring predominantly Hispanic speaking. That's it. Like their first language might be Spanish. But yes, to answer your question, it's a landing page, credibility page. It's an information. I want you to be able to look at the deal, like the deal, get all the photos, get all the numbers, get everything you need. Then you're going to put your name and information, and you're going to answer a couple questions of ours to pre-qualify you to then come into my funnel. And then here's the deal. You got to think about the future too. Like when you have now, so if I told you all the states we're in, I'd probably forget some, but we're in a bunch of states. And deals are pretty much everywhere. And I can tell you every other person is going, do you have anything else? Do you have anything anywhere else? People are looking for these houses all the time because they're pretty rare.
Can I pause you right there for 1 second?
For sure.
And just bring it back a little bit before we get too much deeper on what a wrap deal is, because I know we definitely have some new people in here, and B, why you would choose to dispo as a wrap versus anything and everything else, other ways to dispo. Just really quick.
Yeah, for sure. And you keep me on track because you know how I can veer off. And so thank you. Wraps right now. So we're finding all right, so the no and low equity deals. So I'll bring up a deal right now. It's like they just bought it in May and they're getting divorced or separated. They bought it in May with a 5.75 interest rate. They missed the boat on the interest rate. They're missing the boat on sale. They would have to come to the table. Let me share it. Right here. So I'll just bring this up. This is a Colorado deal. So again, a little different marketing strategy, but we're doing this, or we were selling this subject to deal as a wrap, meaning, guys, let's dumb it down real quick, and forgive me for using that word, but let's just go that it's someone bought a house in May, they're getting divorced, they need to sell it. In order to sell it, they would have to come to the table, the closing table, with money, because the realtor is looking for 60 grand. She's not, flexing, and they need to get out of it. Then they were like, well, let's rent it. And they were going to have a $300 a month loss in rental. And they just said, we'll just hold, we'll try to rent it and we'll just hold tight for a little while and hopefully things get better. And that sucks. Hopefully things get better. When you're in that mindset or when you're in that predicament, that's not a good place to be. We've all been there. So it usually doesn't get better. So you come in and someone brought this deal. They were in Colorado and they just said to the agent, listen, I think we can give us a shot, give us 30 days. And within 2 weeks, we should probably know if we can solve this problem or not. So within, I think it was almost the day of 2 weeks, we had a contract signed for, it ended up being like a sub-2 student because they actually found a way to monetize this by building bedrooms. That's a different scenario. However, a wrap, we're taking the mortgage over. We're going to say, this is a great house. It's cute as a button. I mean, we have the loan on it. It's Colorado. humongous Mexican population, and the appreciation, the values right outside of Denver. I mean, it's a smoking house. And for a family that works hard, that has cash, and we always say, like, most of these families have cash under their mattresses, guys. That's predominantly who we are working with. Generational families, you know, mom, dad live with the kids. They're all putting their money together, and they have a lot of it. But they just can't go get a bank loan, and they deserve home ownership just like we all do. So we get the loan, the 5.7. I think we ended up marketing it. I mean, you can see we do options, but to keep it super, well, when I say affordable, guys, I mean, their monthly payment was, their monthly payment was still, you know, $3,500, but for an investor to come in at a 5.75 interest rate, and that we only marked it up 6.3, 6.4 to 6.5, you know, we obviously are trying to solve the problem too, but again, passing a beautiful interest rate at 6.3, go get that right now at a lending. Go to the bank and go get that 6.3. I dare you to. And that's where homeownership comes in. And we're providing that with these unique deals.
Jonathan, what you got?
Can you, I don't know if you can like do like a whiteboard or something like that. Can you show us the mortgage payment that you're taking over? Like just kind of like show us how these numbers are penciling out. Because I'm assuming the agent still wants to make sure that they get their commission even though they didn't do their job.
Why do you say that?
Because they didn't sell.
Well, no, this agent's getting, so first thing is first, the whiteboard, I'm actually getting one of the pens I can draw on Zoom. So I could just spit fire. I can bring up the mortgage calculator I use. I have all the tools that I pretty much use on my screen. We use Rentometer, you know, local Zillows and comps, sold deals, rent deals. And then we just, I'll show you how we backfill our numbers. It's really simple. A lot of you guys, and forgive me, you guys love calculators. I don't use calculators. When I do flips, I don't use calculators. We barely use calculators other than the generic ones, like a mortgage calculator here. I ran a deal that we currently have last night. That's all we do. I just use.
I guess I'm more specific. I'm more specifically asking. So if they were saying that if they were to rent it out, they would lose $300 a month.
Sure.
How did you find someone to pay $600 on top of that price? Is it because it's now ownership versus renting?
Well, yeah. So we always try to backfill our numbers. And now again, if you listen to Pace and you listen to some of the sub 2 stuff, you're gonna hear him say, you know, you can charge $200, $300 more than, or 2% more on the monthly than what the rental is. You know, think about it. If you're renting a home for $2,000 a month, but you can get home ownership at 23 or 25, you would probably want to go with that. But what we're finding out is it's getting a little tougher out there right now. And I think we're at our threshold. So we're really following the market trends on rents. So I'm really good at looking at rents and rentals. I mean, we look at 7 different avenues to get a rental because you can't just use one avenue, as you guys know, can't just use one place to find a comp. So we're really trying to backfill some of these numbers into rentals. And most of the time it's better than renting. And I can tell you that we have probably 2 of them right now that are like severely under market rents. That I'm like, why am I losing my, like, why are we not making more money on these? But the numbers are the numbers, and we're selling them. So it's advantageous to look at these, even if you are renting right now. If it was any one of us and you're like, oh, I wouldn't buy a wrap. Well, if we're looking at a 6.5 interest rate, it's not that bad. And if I can get you under the market rents.
But
sorry, Jonathan, did I touch base on any of that?
What you said earlier is you said that market rents were $300 below their mortgage payment, or at least that's how I understood it.
So and I jump around. So when Pace was explaining this, or if we talk about a wrap, most people are like, we can charge more than the rental rate, just a little bit more than the rental rate. That's where you want to backfill your numbers. I'm starting to see that's not so true, at least from my perspective. It's not that. We're trying to follow the market trends of rental only. So I'm going to bring my mortgage payment in or around that rental rate for that area for that home. Feel me?
So like with this specific deal, like I don't know what the mortgage, let's say the mortgage was $2,000.
Bring it up. Forgive me guys too. So let me find what I need to find here. We have a dispo team in there. They have their own folder too, because we don't try to give them everything.
Mhm.
So like, I'll show my team right here, the mortgage calculators. I put it for my dispo man. I make it so damn easy that he cannot mistake the numbers that we are portraying. So I'll sit down at night, my partner Ted and I, and we'll underwrite the deal and be like, we'll set it up. Like, here you go. We're going to put this all together. Here's the deal. And this happens to be the one with Ari. So Ari has access to those two. We all share it together. And it's, number one, that's the option. We give options. So that number, this $1,900 right here, that's a PI number, principal and interest, guys. When you pay for a home, it's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Then you have HOAs and all the other, baloney that you might have. Total out of pocket. I'll put the property taxes and insurance in that $5,200 number. So in my calculator, this is all we use. I just play with this number here and sometimes my down payment. I play with these two to backfill the numbers I feel appropriate for the rental market. And in this rental market is a 23 to 24 with a brand new house. We're thinking it's worth 2,500. This is a 2021 built home. And we think that it's, all in $2,500. Now, what you're not seeing is what is my PITI? What is the sub 2 deal that I'm getting right now? What do I get? What's that number? And we're going to find it if we have the mortgage calculator. I think it's $1,700 a month. I think our number is 17. So just for the sake of argument, let's just say our number is $1,700 a month, all in PITI. And so if this person is paying $2,466, let's just call it $2,400. My difference would be $1,700 a month to the $2,400 a month. That is our cash flow. Someone comes in, they pay that $2,400 a month. We're paying our first note at 17. The remaining balance comes to us every month for the life of that term until they cash us out, sell it, or I foreclose on them. That makes sense? And pull it back if I'm going too fast or not fast enough, or
I think you're doing good. If anyone has questions, throw them in the chat. I do see some in here, but there's
sure
a bunch of hands raised and questions. So I think just cruise through and then we'll give 20, 25 minutes or something for questions, since that,
let me pause this. Let me look at the chat. Chelsea, you want to throw a few at me so I can
questions?
Yeah, throw them at.
Do you want to run through what you had, or do you want to just kind of question it up?
Well, yeah, I mean, we have a couple of hands raised, so
Okay, we can do that now. I didn't know if you wanted to run through what you got and then we can.
Yeah, well, I think we had a good little hit right there. I think that, I just wanted to show the marketing piece. But guys, I mean, I can go so deep.
I've got a question that might benefit the group. I was interested in that you just talked about it again, the options that you give the buyer. It's almost like a reverse letter of intent, because we used to use a letter of intent when we made offers to sellers, especially on listed properties, and we would come in with the low ball cash offer, the close at a full price, but asking for some terms, the full price offer, but with very favorable terms. It almost looks like you're doing that in reverse with the buyers. You're giving them, it looked almost like 4 or 5 or even 6 different options. Can you just elaborate on how that works, Justin?
Yeah, so good. And thank you for that, because guys, again, thanks for keeping me on. So let's rewind a little bit back and let's talk about why we're doing the options. And then let's talk about the wrap buyers again. So we offer options because number one, the one thing I learned that everyone loves options. Even when I was wholesaling, I would give options. I think that's a Steve Trang thing. So that's for one. Number two, it's the down payment in the monthly, guys. Again, you'll hear Pace in all of our training say like, hey, it's the monthly payment everyone's concerned about, monthly payment. And although that is super true, a lot of folks, because lately in the last year or two have been hyping about interest rates, I am getting interest. People are paying attention to interest rates. It's crazy. And it boggles my mind still, but whatever. So what we do is, if you want, we're flexible. So we offer all these options to show flexibility, number one, because some folks are just afraid to ask. So they just click, or I can't afford that. So no, we'll go, hey, here's our cash option. You can cash us right out, which is, we'd had one like that. It was a cheap, inexpensive deal. And then you go, all right, here's a $24,000 down option. There is skin in the game in these guys. You're essentially asking someone to come in and you're giving them a loan like a bank. There needs to be skin in the game. So let's get that, right out of the way. That's why these down payments are fairly high. And they're also fairly high because of some of the arrears we have to pay. So, or the reinstatements of these mortgages. But we'll do a 24,000, maybe a 34,000, and maybe a 44,000. And then you get to see the purchase price. You put more down, I'm going to take care of you. You're going to get a smoking interest rate. You're going to get a smoking monthly and a smoking price, because I want that cash now too. I'm considering these wholesale deals because we don't wholesale as much anymore. So I'm like, cool. I get a little bit money down up front. I can then get a monthly in the middle every month for this loan, the remainder of this loan. And then at the end, there's a spread, there's a spread when I sell the property between the price I bought it for, technically sub 2, and the price I sold it for, plus all the pay downs. We get paid 3 ways in these deals. So options, rewind it. It's all about just giving options because it's down payment, interest rate, monthly, purchase price. We're just trying to be flexible, show everyone that we can, play ball with them. And usually someone can park, if they're going to play ball with us, they can park in one of those avenues.
That's great, Justin. Thank you. And just to
Yep.
clarify, that the deposit, no matter what the amount, does that go in, that goes in what they call HIP National Bank, right into your pocket? That doesn't go in escrow or towards the purchase. I mean, it goes towards the purchase price, but that doesn't get escrowed somewhere indefinitely, right?
Oh, well, no, it does. Yeah. So one of the huge concerns, guys, especially with folks, everything's a scam, right? So we're constantly combating scam, constantly, because we're on the defense. That's why this credibility with websites and listings and personality and phone numbers and IDs, we give people our IDs too. Earnest money, title companies, of course. Yes, it's HIP money, but some of the time, like, you can end up getting a wrap buyer and not technically close on it. So, say the reinstatement is 40,000, we're asking 50,000. We're just going to almost do, a double close on that, marry the sub 2 seller that we have with the wrap buyer, but we're in the middle of that. They never really meet each other. And yeah, I mean, essentially, if that's what you mean, we make everyone bring all the funds to the title companies, the attorneys, constantly saying, do not send us cash. And I can tell you, I am amazed by the things people go, you want me to give you the money? Still. So I hope that answered. That was Alan that was talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is money, like they say, money now, money in the middle, and money at the end. That's money now, right? Money up front.
Yeah.
Profit up front.
I call that my wholesale fee, and it's probably a poor way of thinking about it, but
Right.
we get cash at close. I love that. Right. And let's be real. It's not the greatest at times, but they can be pretty lucrative, but yes, cash now.
Okay. And just one quick last question. Do you ever add as an option, a lease option or sandwich lease option?
Yeah. We're trying not to. I'm not a big fan of those. I'm a landlord buy and hold guy. So that's my love.
You want title.
I want title, but I also don't want to own problems. So unless it's a really good deal that I just can't make work, we have one right now that's in the middle of nowhere in Georgia. And we thought about it, but I go, the house needs repairs. And I just said, I'm learning a lot lately, right? Every day we're learning. And I just go, all right, how bad do I really care about this deal? And do I want it? Going, if I'm going to get this guy in here, it needs all these things. The well is contaminated. The well had dead animals in it. The well had leaves in it. I think there was methamphetamine being cooked in the house. It was a cute little house. Chelsea, you know which one I'm talking about. It's weird, but it's cute, I guess. And I go, the lease option came up and I'm just going, I don't want this coming back at me. I'm going to upgrade myself to the landlord. And all right, guys. So what is a lease option really quickly? Lease option is, we're going to own the property. However we do, right? Let's say it's cash or sub 2. We took over the note, the mortgage, we own it. We're then allowing someone on a purchase contract, on a lease, the option to buy the house from us. And there's a fee usually involved. Maybe let's say it's $5,000, and that doesn't go against the principal, doesn't go against the rents. That is the luxury and the privilege to buy this house at a future point in time that we negotiate with a negotiated price. But I'm the landlord. Yeah, they're going to take the home ownership. We're going to encourage them to, if the fridge stops working, you're on your own. The oven stops working, you're on your own. But if the roof caves in, I'm probably responsible. If the foundation, I don't know, crumbles, I'm probably on the hook. So with the well contamination and whatever, you didn't ask that, but I'm staying away for that exact example. I can't say that I won't in the future, but I like to think that I'm a pretty, good person when it comes to business and landlording and all that. And I just couldn't do that. So we just introduced the problems to everybody, show it, bring your contractors. Here's what we know, and we're going to price it accordingly. And we found a person that's going to do that for that property, actually.
So you're saying this works better as a pretty house strategy? Not that you can always get a pretty
No,
house.
but I can't even say that because my partner, Ted, he sold a mobile home in the middle of North Carolina that he said he wouldn't even ask anyone to go into. He got a $20,000 down payment, all right, on a mobile home that was like 50 grand. And he goes, the thing was, he sold one with, excuse me, if this SHIT all over the walls, like legitimately human feces that was just smeared all over the walls, and he sold it on a wrap. Like we're getting stories in our Rolodex that's like mind boggling, but it's home ownership. And that's what we're saying. We're going, hell, go get your cleaner. Give me some rubber gloves. I'll go in there and clean that thing. Like I'm getting a house, but some people don't get it that way.
All right. Thanks very much, Justin.
Yeah. Good to hear from you, Alan.
This might be a little in the weeds, but Keith asked about homeowners insurance with a sub 2 and then a wrap.
Yeah, that's a good one. I bet you we can do a whole like master class on that,
Yeah.
where no one even talks about it. I'm not saying we're a master at it. So you want to talk about wrap insurance? Oh, like wrap, just doing sub 2, it's almost the same.
Yeah, not too deep into it, but just touch on it if that's possible.
And I appreciate you for reeling me into, so do it at any time. I'm going to bring back Jacksonville, guys. And you can see the Jacksonville, right? So Jacksonville, we bought this, again, this is the house I did with Ari. So we technically own this right now. We bought this subject to, it's in my LLC because it was on market, agent, the whole thing. It actually still says pending like 2 weeks later. It is a subject to where we then knew we were going to buy it. We didn't want to market a subject to, a wrap while it's also on Zillow and all that. It just, to me, I just want to do things cleanly as much as I can. So we just said, you know what, let's reinstate it. We got our private money. I think it was 40 or 50 grand, 40,000, I think, reinstated it. And it's a 2021 house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's like, we're still like debating on if we wanted to try to like keep it and figure out how to keep it. But nonetheless, insurance is needed before we close. So we go through, get all our legal docs signed, all our disclosures. So, assignment of insurance. So any proceeds that ever came out from a claim, you want to make sure that we get those claims, but we're able to receive those claims in our name. So there's a whole slew of documents you're going to have to get. Sellers need to be on board as well, but you have a power of attorney and all that. It's limited. And what we do is just submit the insurance as the property managers or the financial managers, and we're adding ourselves as the additionally insured. So my LLC on this happens to be Tema dos Florida LLC. I thought we were trying to make it sub 2 Florida, but I'm not even sure that's the right Spanish to my partner. Shame on Ted. He might even be in here. So yeah, we ended up we're additionally insured on this property. And so when we get a wrap buyer, now like we can go in and change the insurance out. I don't think we want to. It might just be like Progressive, I think, on here. We're not trying to rock the boat. We're just trying to protect ourselves. And then when a wrap buyer comes in, we'll do the same. We can either give them an option to buy an additional policy, which they probably won't, or we'll include them as a, additional insured. They'll be covered. And there's other ways there's a few different ways you can play that as well. But yeah, well, it's the additionally insured, but you're doing it in a series of steps that you just want to tread carefully. And I don't know if we talked deeply enough of that. We're not going to do it now, but I know there's a lot of it going on in sub 2, and I'm even in conversation and text messages with some high level people inside of sub 2 who we're all asking the same questions all the time. Like, these questions are the same things that no one's really clearly getting. And so don't feel like you're in the dark if you guys don't know about insurance and all that, because I'm telling you, it can go 17 different ways.
Cool. I think that was a good level of going into it for now. On that sort of topic, Mateus asked what documentation that the wrap buyers are providing in general for like filling out applications, and how much do you need from them?
Sure. So RMLO, a residential mortgage, RML, I always do this. What is it? Lending officer, is your typical, I guess we'll call it like a custodian that's going to be checking to see if they're somewhat qualified, right? So we just want to check. We're running credit, we're running employment, and now there's subject concerns there where we just had a woman, I think that Hogansville one, the one in Georgia that I was talking about with the bad well, the woman is documented, but the husband's not documented, and they're very apprehensive on even sharing anything with his name or anything. She's like, he just makes a lot of cash. And that's fine. But however, we just got to put it down on paper. We just need to show this is what you make. His wife, this is what she makes, and this is what she has. And guys, you're also checking to make sure you're not bringing someone that's not really allowed in the neighborhood, or not really supposed to be even owning, well, let's even say maybe wanted. So there's a few little checks that we're doing, but we don't really care about your speeding tickets. We don't really care about your jail time for your drug dealing. I mean, it's really just to qualify folks. And here's the other thing. You're also not going to be a predatory lender. That's the biggest thing. I obviously don't want to get into a bad situation with someone where I'm asking them to give me $25,000 and then they move in and never pay me again. So there's a commitment where we're all on the same page. We all get what's going on. We understand the whole scenario. We're buying, actually, I'll touch base on that. Sorry, I was going to go another avenue, Chelsea. But we're just trying to get on the same page with everybody. Where they're getting a home, we're providing that. We just need a little bit of extra protection in case things go wrong and they raise the hand and go, oh, by the way, I feel like I was predatory. I was preyed upon, and this is a terrible loan. And these are some of the steps that you take to heed that, or to, combat that. And an RMLO, what's that?
I was just going to say, on top of that, you're always harping on make sure that you're really making them feel comfortable, because you are doing this on oftentimes Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, places where people already might be a little bit skeptical. So you want to really handhold, make sure they know this is, it's not a scam where everything's above board. Everything goes through a title company.
Yes, 100%. I mean, that's what I say, we're on the defense on that. So, and I think my dispo guys, not me, he's like, Hispanics are and they're skeptical in general. They're going to try to haggle, and they're going to try to, they think they're going to put their caution flags up, and they're going to, do the sniff test. So we're always like, here you go, guys. We just got our IDs checked the other day. I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm putting my ID to you. You're supposed to be giving me your ID, but I have nothing to hide. We don't really care. So if you're selling a good product or a decent product and you're doing decent business, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. But yeah, just expect that, because it's going to happen.
All right, we got a few hands up. I'm
Oh,
gonna have
hey,
a Sharky moment right now. Either George or Jorge. I'm sorry, I don't know what.
Jorge's okay, or George, whatever. I understand.
Okay.
my dude.
Hey, Justin, it's not a question. I just let you know I can help you with the dispo over there in Florida because I have been part of the community of 300 investors, speaking Spanish investor over there, and we can help you in Jacksonville with those reps.
Bro, I would love that. So, and we
Just
talked, you
send me
know,
to the email and I figure it out. How can I help you?
let's text afterwards because I know we talk, you know, once a month at least. So let me shoot that at you because you actually bring up an amazing point right now. And I wish I can show you guys if you don't care, and I'm going to show you anyway. We're actually having a huge issue right now, guys, with Facebook Marketplace and advertising this Jacksonville house. You think Jacksonville? It's the second largest city, I think, in America, probably, or so I've heard. And I put it on the marketplace. We actually all did. David, myself, Ted. I mean, we all put it on our Facebooks at different points in time. And we got like 60 clicks, 20 clicks, 80 clicks on an ad in one of the biggest cities. And we're scratching our head going, what the hell's going on? And I think there's an algorithm or something that's going on where they're limiting. But guys, I've had this on since, well, I renewed it on the 6th. 96 clicks. Look at, I had this one on from the, 4,200 on one. Actually, can you even see
We're
that?
still seeing your
I'm so sorry. And I do that often.
I don't know, Claudia, the investor lift is working with that kind of buyers.
Investor
Justin-
lift is more for the investors, as you guys know. We're probably not going to throw a wrap on there. Now we might have something like this is I have one inquiry in 6 days. I put this on for rent and I can show you, look at guys, Jacksonville, 97 clicks on this listing. And then you just go down to my little old South Carolina one and it's got 4,200. Georgia, 1,500, Colorado. Well, that's off. And if like, I had one here that was 13,000 in like 5 days. I had to shut my notifications off. It was so many inquiries. So we're having issues right now. First time ever in Jacksonville, Florida in marketing. So I think Facebook, something's going on. So now we're forced to pivot. We got to figure out like different avenues and figure out different ways to getting our message out. So Jorge, I would love to actually talk to you about Florida and getting this out there, because this deal actually is a decent deal for, hate to say this, but I'm going to say it, it's a bigger pockets investor, like someone who might be a CPA who's looking for just a little bit of a return. They don't know how to, fix anything. They don't want to buy anything that needs really repairs. This is turnkey, brand new house that they can probably make like a couple $100 a month on. So hope I didn't offend anybody.
We're all friends here. Johnny Stratton, what's up?
Johnny, what's up, dude?
Hey, sorry. I had the wrong screen up. What's going on, guys? So I was just thinking, if you could walk me through a little bit and everybody else kind of like what you go through for like decision making on whether you would just do like a straight up sub 2 and maybe wholesale it versus doing a wrap, and how is it kind of like when when you're running into tighter numbers and you know what I mean, like what's your decision making for being able to like deciding which path you go down?
It's a good one. I'm probably the wrong person to be asking. And I don't mean to say it like that, but I'll take anything, right? I'll look at anything and try to do something with it. But yeah, we really just look at everyone and just go, all right, first of all, where is it? And it's pretty cool that we're in a bunch of states that I get to see a lot of cool different parts of the country I never knew existed, and or like, hey, this is a little beach house, or this is a little lake house. That's kind of cool. Or this is near the Smoky Mountains. Holy shit, I never thought I'd be there. So for one, that's pretty cool. So we look at it that way. Then we look at, all right, short term, right out of the way. Yeah, short term's pretty hard. multifamily, single family, just anything right away that might be a trigger that raises the flag going, you need to look at this right away. And then we just kind of look at territory, rural. All right, it's in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. Oh boy. So it's a case by case basis, but to break it down, we just look at the deal. Where is it? And then the numbers for that area. If we know it's rural or not, if it's near a big city or if it's in the middle of nowhere, it better be really, really, really attractive terms. So I was very vague on that, and I think I did a terrible job answering it. So I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to decide. So would you say typically, if you were to wholesale, let's say a sub 2, you would probably in those type of situations be able to make more money with a down payment? And if you're concerned about maybe not making as much, then you would do a wrap to be able to, work the interest rate or whatever, so you can make some cash flow on a monthly basis.
Yeah, I mean, we'll wrap anything. That's what that's the name of the game. And I probably should have said that earlier. Like we always go like, we'll just wrap anything, wrap it. Like we bought a house, paid cash for it. We then got the down payment, which was, all right, I'll just tell you a story real quickly. We just bought a house. We bought it for $20,000, had land, and it was manufactured. And we're like, shit, someone told us in sub 2, don't buy it. It's a bad area. And we said, we put the test out, and the test came back really good. When I say test, we put it on Facebook Marketplace for a day, and it was like the craziest response we've ever gotten. So I go, all right, we got something there. I'm not going to listen to someone else. So I ended up buying it for $20,000. I got a $25,000 down payment, and I sold it for $50,000. So I'm carrying the note. So my private money came in at $20,000, $21,000. I got 25, paid the private money off, took the remaining balance, a few dollars. And then I have a note for 5 years with escalating interest on it to that same woman who's paying me $450 a month at, I don't know, 6% interest. And then it goes to 9%, 5 years.
Yeah.
So we got a deal for free. So you got to look at every one of them and go, I think we can try to offer $25,000 on this $50,000 house. We asked for 50% of it. Crazy. It goes against all the rules. So
yeah.
Again, it's a case by case, and I'm not so good at telling the stories where I can like break it down for you in like this dramatic and, crisp way. And I apologize for that. But I would just say is, you can wrap anything. You just got to have, the down payment has to make sense. Everyone always says 10% of what the 10% of the purchase price. It's pretty true. But if you just go to the example I just told you with a $50,000 manufactured on land, and I got 25,000 down, goes against principles. So, before you do a deal, here's an easy one. Put a ghost ad out, put it out, put a vague photo of it. If it's on market, it might be a little hard to do, but put a ghost ad out, put some numbers that you think might work. Seller's asking for $20,000 to walk away. Can I get 30,000 for this? Put it on there. See what they say. And see if people think you're crazy. And that's really one of the other methods to test your marketing. And then if it's a sub 2 deal, guys, look at it, data Rabu, every one of them. Yeah, it's not the greatest, but if it's got a tourist attraction, beach, water, lakes, mountains, you might have something. Look for parks. So then you got to look at it that way. And I think this is going to touch more on like what Jonathan's saying. And we'll do that same thing. I'll go right down the line at night. Like I said, like we'll underwrite the deal at night. Or if we already have it under contract, we'll be like, here's what we're going to post for our dispo guys. We'll set them up with the basis of the deal. Let's go, here you go, boys. All your information's in the drive. Go nuts. And in there we've already underwritten. We've done the data Rabu. We've done the short term. We've done the long term. We've done the midterms. We've looked at it and like, who might be buying in that area, who might want a little deal. And so that's in a nutshell what we're doing.
Gotcha. Okay. And then just one quick question too that I didn't quite grasp is, so this one you found it was on market and you had to pay the agent. Is that coming out of that down payment and you're paying
Yes.
the closing? Okay.
Ari's going to laugh at this one. I think we felt pretty good when we structured this one. So on the Jacksonville in particular, I think they were going back and forth on like the seller. Yeah, the realtor wanted like $8,000 and the seller was getting like nothing. And I see this time and time again. And I have another story for that. And we're going, no, absolutely not. This BITCH, absolutely not. Fall back. This dude served our country like, and you're going to take $8,000. He's getting like whatever it was, 5 or 3. So all we said was, well, I'm going to sound bad on this one, but all we said was, we got $5,000 in the deal. I mean, essentially that the down payment is like $40,000. That's a pretty high down payment. So we knew our threshold's low. If you want to make this work and we're going to solve your problem, we can do it. But like, there's $5,000 to go around. And the seller was like, hell yeah, I'm down. And then I think she I think she was good about that one. But, went from 8,000 to whatever, a couple $1,000s. Again, she wasn't going to get anything. I just had someone come in, my friend Greg Clark out in Memphis. He brought us an opportunity, and this agent's like, the sellers were getting $0. Literally, they're already gone. The house is vacant. And he's like, I want $8,000. Bro, you're not selling the deal. So I can't get into the psychology of that. And like, I'm sorry to vent on that, but I am saying to boil it down now, what we're doing, and we did it in that Colorado deal. We said to the homeowners, we are not getting in the middle of the agents in your conversation. If you want to, however you want to compensate them, we're coming in as the buyer. We're solving the problem, in my opinion, for your seller. For your agent. We're giving you $30,000. However you guys want to divide that up. I'm all the power to you, but we're not getting in the middle of it. And that worked. So that's our newest model that we're telling people. I'm sorry, we're not getting in the middle of that conversation. And it's actually not a bad response because people are like, I don't blame you. We're just saying, if you like the numbers, here you go. Go nuts.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Drew, did you get your question answered? Yeah. Okay, cool. There were a couple other things in the chat. One of them was, you mentioned 7 avenues to get rental rates.
Oh, I say 7. I probably
just figure speech.
Yeah, figure speech, but there's a ton, right? So Facebook, I always go Facebook Marketplace, guys, because I'm a landlord too. So we own rentals. I'm always trying to stay on top of the rental markets and rental numbers and where the pulse is. And even sometimes I'm like, all right, what's going on here? If I see different numbers that I don't know. Facebook, always, social media is huge, right? That's where everyone's putting their stuff usually. So we go Facebook, Zillow. Don't forget about Zillow on Zillow Rents and all that. And some of the rural towns you'll strike out. I have a subscription to Rentometer or Rentometer. We use that pretty heavily, and that gives us a gauge, but it'll bring you in a map. Some of the data is old, and some of that data has been wrong. But yeah, then we'll check across all the boards, and then like I said, Data Rabu, when we go a little bit down, AirDNA, my short-term rental partners now, I'll just send them deals to say, hey, I need you to look at this really quickly. Even the Florida one they looked at, the Jacksonville, just to make sure I check that box because I've been wrong on those before. So yeah, just check all apartments.com, get actual good local comparisons, condition, and look for the days on market for some of these properties because you'll have landlords even local here. I see these knuckleheads asking ridiculous numbers and they're just sitting on for like 40, 50, 60 days. Maybe they don't care. But they're not going to rent that. So last thing I'll touch base on that. If you're thinking about rental rates and if you're thinking about rental rates in comparison where to put your mortgage, if you can afford to go lower, go lower, bring that attractive down monthly. If it's a $1,500 a month, place, shoot for that 13. That's attractive. If people are paying that and they know they're going to be paying that and they can go home ownership, they might go beg, borrow, and steal for that down payment to get into that house. And again, I have a few stories for that, but I'll save you guys the pain.
Cool. Do This is a good like foundation question. Do you own the property with a wrap?
You do not technically. We're and our books and our accountant, we're now in the process of marking all of our notes that we own. So yes, there's, Pace is talking about a method right now that you can probably get depreciation, I think, on, if you did like a contract for a deed, you technically are the owner. And I know I don't want to muddy the waters and get gray with you guys, but there's ways where, all right, how about this? I'll say this. On a wrap, you're giving someone the deed. It's the deed's in their name. On where now, if you're going to do a contract for a deed, you're going to still retain the ownership. You're just giving them, a contract that, you really can't sell the property unless they pay you down or they, relinquish their obligation from purchasing that property from you and paying it off. So it's a contract for the deed, contract for deed. You're the owner. Pace is looking at a way to get tax benefits on that, but I'm not even going down that road.
Yeah, because he was kind of on the train like I'm past wraps. So if he can get the depreciation back with it, then
Guys, and then I hear so many people, and I've watched this trend because we've had a lot of creative deals for the last couple of years, and I saw the trends where it's like, oh, you're doing wraps, and it's like Pace doesn't like wraps. Guys, do the damn wraps, or find someone to do the damn wraps. Unless you're too good for them, and that's fine. Give it to someone for a fee, or say, hey, take this deal, pay me, I don't know, whatever, $500, make something from it, but monetize these wraps. You're doing a disservice to almost the deals that you might not think would work. And Pace is in a different area than us, and he's in a different, financial, bracket. So wraps are good.
Yeah.
How about if somebody has an intention of refining out of the wrap? How do you work that into your contract and stuff?
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, we want that.
No.
You want to encourage home ownership. You want to encourage them to, 5 to 7 years, get out, cash us out. Because here's the deal, guys. And I should say this in the same note that you're technically still responsible, right? So you are still, think of yourself as a lender. If you stop paying your mortgage, someone's going to get notified from the bank and someone's going to come knocking, and you need to be aware of that. And that's going to be you. You're the lender. And the servicing company, that's another thing we didn't touch base on. I don't think we should dive down that. And guys, tell me when I need to stop talking, but the, servicing will notify you if they stop paying, right? And guess who's on the hook? You are on the hook, and you better have some capital to pay that mortgage. So, we have accounts that the money just comes in every month, but it's like just like you're a landlord and you need to have some discipline. You got to keep some reserves in there. Yeah. Does it happen often? No, I've never had it happen, but I'm not that experienced in these. I would say that you want to encourage home ownership. You want to encourage to be cashed out. You want to encourage to say, hey, I'm pricing this property to either be refinanced out 1-2 years is maybe not the case, but 5 to 7 years, you should have enough equity in this thing to cash out or sell it, refi, whatever. And that's what you want.
But what if you're doing it in an arena like you're saying with Jacksonville and stuff, where you're being the bank for these types of people because you know that they can never really achieve going conventional?
Mm-hmm.
So is there a contingency there, or is there, or even on the other side of things, where somebody might actually be able to go conventional? Do you try to set some kind of hypothetical benchmark with them and almost doing like a credit restoration type assistance and being like, hey, it's actually more beneficial. I know you can't qualify right now, but in the future, when there's relaxed rates, like, wouldn't it be a better idea for you to go conventional so you can boost your own credit?
Sure.
I know it's a lot. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and I'm not going to we're not offering any of that. I know you guys do some good stuff and work with folks, but it's like, these folks are not stupid. When they're jumping into this, like, we're buying one person's buying a wrap deal from us. We're actually buying their house from them. This is kind of cool to solve our own problem, but they bought that house on seller finance. They bought this before. Oh, that may have been seller finance, but same thing. So we don't really care. Honestly, we want to encourage, and the way to encourage to get out of the deals is maybe through, well, you're using an RMLO. So you're really not a predator. You're not really giving someone who cannot refi, pay down, do all those things, because you'd be, again, shooting yourself in the foot. But 5 to 7 years, get out of it, hopefully refinance, sell it. Because, you might want to put an escalating, we don't do it that often, but an escalating interest rate where it's encouraging someone. You're almost kicking them out the door a little bit to say, all right, let's go. If not, they can sell it. No one's putting a gun to their head to say you need to refinance this or you need to pay this off, because the product should be there. And the product, accordingly, if they take care of it, 5 to 7 years, all intents and purposes, that property, when you do all the calculations, you look at it, will be refinanceable. But I can't help people with alien status or illegal, or they can't do this or they can't do that. That's not something for me. Most of these people, and I will tell you this, and this is where it rings. I know probably Ted, if he is in here, he's saying every one of them tells us, I'm going to pay you off sooner. And I actually, Sergio, a gentleman in Georgia who we have a wrap deal with, I think he's just paid $200 this month extra towards principal. So again, folks aren't stupid. They know what they're investors. They're hacking the system by getting our deals. Just that they have to do it a different way.
Just doing a diligent job on qualifying that and building those relationships so that you're not really, your eyes aren't opening at 2:30 in the morning being like, oh my God, what did I just do? Is that person not going to pay me, or is that person going to bail
Bro,
out
I
or
sleep
whatever?
like an angel. All right. I love it.
I love it.
There's nothing wrong.
That's
Like,
awesome.
yeah, seriously. Yeah, no, like, you know what I don't want? I don't want that lease option in Georgia that has bad well water where a little girl's going to get sick from drinking the water. I don't want that shit on me. It's, hey, this is what we know. The well's uncovered. I think there's some dead animals down there. Please rectify the situation. I'm giving you a really good deal. They're getting $70,000 off of ARV, and the house needs like $30,000 worth of work. They're jumping at that deal.
And in the conversation when you're, maybe they're not used to buying homes, but, bringing up the fact that in an off-market property, you don't need, so to say, a disclosure form, like something retail, but mentioning the fact that like, you don't need a disclosure form, but I'm here to be very honest with you. And there might be some dead animals in the well. And I want you to understand that, or whatever. How do you navigate that conversation?
No, I just tell them that this is what we know of the property. Someone came in, there's no secrets really. Again, you want to sleep well at night. It's, hey, the AC condenser, I was told it was working. We just did an inspection. Someone cut the lines on the AC condenser. Like, you don't have AC. Again, and I go, I'm pricing this property, guys, for the handyman that most of these blue collar, cash only folks they're all tradesmen usually. Bro, they want to come in these properties and make it their own. So yeah, tell them what's going on. Here you go. This is what we know. And you're off to the races. And they're, like I said, jumping for joy. We're buying their beautiful little condo. It's a 2-bed. And I actually asked myself, I go, shit, they're going into something that they're going to have to go renovate. And you know what the answer for that was? Me doing what I shouldn't be doing, putting my brain in their brain, or vice versa, trying to. They have a camper. They have a mobile home, not a mobile home, but a RV. They're going to live in it on the property while they renovate it. They have it all mapped out. And I'm sitting here freaking out like, all right, make sure they know. So yeah, don't get caught up in the would've, could've, should've's too much. Just know that you're putting out a decent product and you're disclosing it. That's it.
Unfortunately, I'm the woulda, coulda, shoulda guy.
Well, you need to not be in that role.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. No, it's gonna listen. My partner does a lot of that too. You have to just make calculated decisions that are just good. I can't answer that too much, but you got to just, you're a business. Here's what I know. Here's the product. It's priced accordingly. That's it. Sign on the dotted line. You understand? I understand. Repeat. We hammer this stuff into people.
Love it. We're gonna wrap up and we'll let you go, get back to your zillions of things. One
Nice joke.
question, I think what's up?
Nice joke with the wrap it up.
Yeah, very Alan of me.
That was a dad joke.
But one quick thing that Nick just asked that I think is pretty important to touch on is because, wraps seem all shiny and everything, like it can kind of solve a lot of problems. But he asked what the time frame is from start to finish.
Good question. Yeah. I've been bitten on the butt before, and listen, guys, paste makes it sound sexy and makes everything sound easy, right? On everything. Creative deals in general are timeline. They're time killers. They take usually a lot of time, unless it's a seller finance. But I would say, at least in my book of business, things don't always go, 30 days, 45 days. Even our flips, they're getting delayed for no reason that we can control. With that being said, give yourself some time. The old method was like 45 days. Sure, you can do it. That's why we're building a dispo team, and we have a dispo team that's being built up even bigger and badder. And we're just learning all these little tricks to combat that timeline because they've been on there. We just had to extend the foreclosure locally. I'm doing something with the Fothergill brothers, and like we had rap buyers and they just play game. Like you're playing the same song and dance often that we play with our sellers. Hey, you're gonna bring the contract to them and hey, can you sign it, please? And I can walk you through it. But however your technique is, it's the same damn thing with rap buyers. You put it out to him and he's like, I'll sign it this morning. But he goes to his blue collar job, comes home, goes to the bar, goes drinks his cervezas and whatever else going down. Next morning, rinse and repeat. And we're trying to chase him. And then I void it out and I make him come back looking for the contract. And he did it again. And he's like, bro, where's my contract? I'm like, bro, this is not how I operate. So you got to be stern, but you're going to play these same games with your sellers. And I don't mean any of this in a negative manner, right? I don't want to speak negatively, but I'm just showing reality. It's kind of a bitch. So, but you learn the tricks and you learn that what not to do, what to expect. Hey, I need to hold your hand the whole process. And that's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're not going to get a contract and then get your wholesaler or your cash buyer, your fix and flipper. And it's like, cool, sign here. You did the inspection. Cool. And wait for escrow to close to get your damn check. It's not going to happen. So that's just putting some reality out there, guys. Just know. And I'd love to talk about that on a different conversation, or I'd love to elaborate on some of these videos and some of these deals we're doing. And I hope to get there someday. I can't get these videos out. But yeah, any questions, hit me up. Let me know.
What's the best way to reach out to you if someone thinks they might have a rap or whatever they?
Absolutely. So, I think in our own family, everyone should have access to the Google Drive, but I know a lot of us have a tough time getting there. So my name's Justin Tumanowski. We'll wrap anything anywhere and I'll help you. Again, most people know, like, I try not to waste time, and I hope you don't waste my time and I don't waste your time. But if you have a deal and you just need a few minutes to like bounce a few things, just give me a call. I'm not looking for your money. I'm not looking to take your first deal from you, but just come respectfully and with time considerations. Instagram's pretty awesome if you can. Real Estate Justin. I think there's periods in there maybe between each word. Real Estate Justin, and I think you guys could find me. But if not, go to Chelsea. She's awesome and can do everything.
Awesome. Appreciate you so much.
Yeah. Love you guys and keep on kicking ass. And I hope to see everybody soon.
Are you still doing the, were you doing like open office or something like that?
Yes.
No, that's not happening.
No, we are. Ryan just came.
Okay.
It was so kick ass. Ryan showed up the other day. Erico showed up and he's like, bro, I need something. Like, come in my office or Zoom. We have an open office that I think we're going to try to open up for hours because as Chelsea, you know, we have,
Yeah.
everyone's running between breakout rooms and my teams
That's what
are
I
all.
thought you were doing for like, yeah, you had talked about like putting certain hours in place or something.
Yeah. And I'd love to get I'm still struggling to get the word out, but I think we're going to do like even if it's like a 1 or 1.5 hours a day somewhere, or maybe once a week somewhere, we'll do like 3 hours, 4 hours. Cause guys, I'm in this office all day long unless I'm on site. I love talking this shit, as you can hear. So if you got deals you want to talk about, even real estate, you'll sucker me into a good conversation. But keep your eyes peeled. We're going to do an open office where you might even be able to just jump around to our dispo room, our dispositions, hear our conversations, hear our jokes. Chelsea walked into some dirty jokes this afternoon. I had to make sure she put earmuffs on, but she's like, it's all good. So guys, we're just having fun with it. Like I said, let's have fun. Let's make money together. Let's be positive to one another, and let's just keep the community tight. All eyes are on us. And I'm going down to North Carolina tomorrow for the Saturday meetup. And I can already tell you that I think we're speaking at that one. And it's like, I joke with my partner. I'm like, you guys are so sad. It's so sad. They meet for an hour. They meet on like one night this week for an hour. And it's just, there's nothing. So, and that all is for like all the leaders and everyone who comes up, Suzanne, Jeff, Z, I mean, Ari, everyone with names, Chelsea, everybody, Tim, Corey, guys, you guys, it's pretty awesome up here. I'm going to tell you, keep your eyes peeled because it's pretty badass. Sorry, I went on that rant. Good
No,
night.
yeah, appreciate you and your time, and you're awesome and pumped for everything to come.
Thanks, Justin. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, one last thing, guys. I just wanted to encourage you all to come out to that Starbucks. I posted the flyer in the New England Discord. Ari was supposed to be here tonight, I believe. I don't know what happened with that.
He
But
has some stuff going on Thursdays. He usually pops in around this time.
oh, okay. All right, so he still might show up then. But yeah, guys, like I said, I'm new to Sub 2. I know I've been encountering a lot of other people that are new to Sub 2 in this area. I just look forward to meeting you guys. I mean, you know, we are part of a community. We're part of a family. Family spends time together. You know, family learns from each other. Family helps build with each other. So I really want to get that camaraderie with everybody here, and you know, I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And Joe, and for anyone else who's new or just doesn't know, we all try to do local meetups once a month. We do this obviously every Thursday. There's quarterly meetups where it's all of New England, and the local meetups, it doesn't mean that like if Maine's doing one that you can't come to Maine, or if Mass is doing one, you can't go to Mass. Santiago's last meetup, there was like 50 of us or something. Like the meetups are just becoming more and more awesome. So keep an eye out for those, and any of them that you can go to, like much encouraged, and they're all super valuable. So like you said, it's family, and you'll really get to like feel that feeling if you make sure to, you know, come to as many meetups as you can, and just like, you know, you're going to make friends. It's not just working with people. You're going to make like some pretty badass friends in here. So yeah, love it. Love the energy, Joe, and anyone who's in the area, definitely go to that Starbucks meetup if you're able to.
I just dropped the flyer in the chat. So yeah, like I said, anybody want to RSVP to either myself or Ari, we'll compile the list. We'll get an idea of how many people to expect. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, guys. I really am. Sub 2 has been one of the greatest things that I've ever participated in my life. And it's been an amazing experience so far. So I really want to give back and you know, do what I can. So
Appreciate it. That's the whole name of the game. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate Justin. Appreciate you sharing that, Joe, and putting that together. And now we got Drew on stage. If you guys don't know Drew, he's been doing in the wholesale game for like 2 years. He's consistently doing at least 1 to 2 deals a month. working on increasing that right now, kind of deciding if he's going to add someone to his team. You know, just upping that as we all are trying to up our game. But his bread and butter is kind of lead gen, follow up, cash deals. You know, creative is awesome, guys, but you know, you want that cash flow and that cash coming in, and that's super important for foundational and all that good stuff. So I think focus on probate, foreclosure. He does PPC, even door knocking. Guys, door knocking is super valuable. One of the hardest things to get people to do, but Drew's doing it. So he's gonna share a deal with us and just walk through something he recently did, and he JV'd on it. So I think he's open to JVing on stuff too. So take it away, Drew.
Yeah, guys, what's going on? I'm Drew out of Stamford, Connecticut. You know, she really hit it off the bat there. Definitely cash wholesaling is still my bread and butter. Been pitching novations for the past 3-4 months now. Been pitching sub twos, seller finance and things like that for the past 2 to 4 months now, but can't get much to stick. But I'm happy the pitching is there, the sales process is there on those type of leads and things of that nature. But sorry. Yeah, so I do you want to give me what's it called? Co-host? Is that possible?
Yeah, can I do that, or
Just so I could show the property.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't do that earlier.
Perfect.
No, you're good, brother. You guys could see my screen right now, this Willimantic property?
No,
Or
I can't.
let's see here. There we go.
Gotcha. Perfect.
No? Perfect. Yeah, so this was a deal. Nothing crazy, nothing what Justin was going over. You know, that's kind of more high level stuff. This is more you know, cash wholesale, fix and flip, wholesale type of situations here that I've been doing. So this is a property in Willimantic. It's in a neighborhood that's very close to Yukon, Eastern Connecticut. A lot of college rentals are in that market, especially on that road right there. A bunch of single families, you know, leased out to students and things of that nature. So this was a tax foreclosure. I believe the owner owed maybe around $30,000 in taxes. And I got in contact with her about 3 to 4 weeks before the auction date was in place. So it was a cold call lead. Got in contact with her. I've actually never even been to the property. My partner, he's not a sub two guy, but you know, he's a cash buyer. He pays with his real cash, list properties. He's a realtor himself, so it's kind of a good person to kind of do wholesales with. I do a lot of wholesales with him. Wholesales are essentially, you know, wholesale type properties, but you're buying them outright and you're kind of cleaning them up, maybe putting in max 10 to 20, sometimes literally nothing, and then just throwing them right back up on the market. So, you know, that's what this was. I definitely like novations and subtails more than wholesales for a couple different reasons that we can kind of get into. But I'm just definitely more familiar with wholesales just because it's a little easier, simpler concept, although novations and subtails are a little more lucrative and probably could put a little more money in your pocket. So yeah, this is 46 Linwood Drive in Willimantic. We bought this for $95,000 cash, no hard money loan or anything like that. We put in, so we had to remove an oil tank. There's an underground oil tank in the backyard of the property. Thank God it was not leaking. We kind of rolled the dice on it. I don't really suggest people, if the numbers are tight, I don't really suggest rolling the dice on underground oil tanks just because that could be anywhere between a 10 to, I mean, I don't know, 30, 40K at certain times. And if it's flowing in the neighbor's yard, then you're really in trouble. So we got a little lucky, I'm not going to lie. So, you know, that cost us about $3,000 to take out. We had to install one for about $4,000. We did a little soil testing because that, you know, the town needs that to see that it's got good soil in the backyard. That cost, I believe, $500 there. We got a dumpster in there. We got a couple clean out guys in there. And then we had a couple bird dogs kind of showing the property, putting the lockbox on the property, taking photos, things of that nature. So we're all in probably around, I have a spreadsheet here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Good. Yeah. So, we had dumpster, pictures that we're taking when we listed the property, clean out guys. We had to fill the oil tank, insurance, attorney, brokerage fees, soil testing, tank removal, install, plumber, and then bird dogs. So, we're all in around 23 grand, little more than expected, unfortunately. But, the neighborhood that we were in, we felt very comfortable about it because of those student rentals. A lot of the comps we were running, I think, when you're doing flips, especially, and I'm no pro on flips by any means, but when I do wholesales specifically or any kind of flip, something I really like to look at with the comps is how long those comps were listed on the market, because those are going to affect your carrying costs and things of that nature, especially if you have hard money. And investors love this area for student rentals. So all the comps we were seeing, these properties were going under a week off the market. So we felt very comfortable with that. So we pulled the trigger on it, had to remove the tank. The winter storm came in over December, that Christmas weekend. If anyone remembers, it was a pretty bad winter storm. So electricity got wiped out, and the kitchen ended up flooding a little bit, unfortunately. So even on a hotel where you expect not to put anything into it, we had to still put in extra money to get a plumber over there. Took about a week and a half for him to get over there, things of that nature. And then we listed the property pretty much in as-is condition, and made out decent. We thought we'd get more towards 160, but we ended up settling around 150 and a half. So that gave us a profit at around 30 and some change, 32.2. So again, hotels are a great method. I don't think I could have wholesaled this for much, right? Getting it at 95, probably could have wholesaled it. Again, with the oil tank in the backyard, that's a buyer taking a pretty decent risk there. Maybe could have got, I don't know, 103, 105, maybe, if I had to guess. ARV was probably around 220. So, definitely not the typical deal, but because of the need for these student rentals in the area for investors, I pulled the trigger on it because it was the right neighborhood to, get a little tight on numbers. These numbers probably wouldn't have made sense in other areas, but just because I know where this is, where this located, did the homework on the comps, how fast those were going off the market, I knew, there'd be a couple offers coming in. So again, nothing crazy, nothing really creative or anything like that. But I think sometimes when people are wholesaling cash deals, they get a little too tight on the numbers. And this is kind of an example where, you can kind of come up on your numbers a little bit and just buy it, clean it out, relist it, and, turn the profits up a little bit. So, that's pretty much the gist of it. But, if anyone's got any sort of questions, how I got this lead, or, how the sales process went, or anything of that nature, oil tanks, if you're in Connecticut and you're dealing with a property with an underground oil tank, because we have a lot of those here, a lot. I'm happy to share that contact. He's a really good guy. He'll be there within a week, and he knows exactly what he's doing. So I got a good oil tank guy as well. So that's pretty much, the general gist of this deal right here. And again, never been to the property, never stepped foot on it, or anything like that. So it was a pretty clean deal. A couple of headaches along the way for a hotel, but still made out pretty well.
Awesome. What would you say about knowing, because you mentioned a couple of times, because the area and everything, what would you say about knowing your market? I know it's a big question for newer people, especially. Like, how do I calculate my ARV and how do I calculate my MAO? And so what would you say about knowing your market versus using like a formula for a buy price? And if you're newer, would you link in with other people? What would you say about making sure you don't hit that sweet spot rather than too high or too low?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So, yeah, so if someone didn't know Connecticut really that well, I mean, this is right next to two colleges, Eastern Connecticut and UConn. And I know both of those schools have good, rules for students. They could both get out on their sophomore season or sophomore year to live off campus in properties. So I know that about those two universities. So I already know, the cash on cash return in this neighborhood is really good for what those rents are going for college kids. And the entry price is low. So, the traditional, ARV times 0.7 minus rehab and things like that, probably not the right neighborhood to really, you'll probably talk yourself out of a deal in this neighborhood. But I just know that there's a really high demand for it. So sometimes, you don't really have to be so robotic with those metrics that we all learn on YouTube and these courses and things like that. Sometimes neighborhoods, types of properties can kind of outweigh, what those lessons that we've learned are. You know what I mean? Sometimes the market will overrule some of those metrics.
Do you check in with I assume you have, a pretty good cash buyers list in the area. Do you ever check in with them and see, this is what I've got? How did you kind of get to know your area and, the easy answer is I was born and raised in Connecticut, so that helps a lot, obviously, just like where everyone lives. Being born and raised in an area, obviously you just know certain things about certain neighborhoods, certain areas, where people like to live, where people don't like to live, where the colleges are, the universities, things like that, lakes and all that good stuff. But yeah, as far as cash buyers go, I have a good relationship with them. I mean, I just really like understanding what they do. For example, Santiago might have different numbers than, another fix and flipper in here, right? He might be, his rehab costs might be 20, 30 grand off someone else's for whatever reason. It's all respect to their buyers and their own businesses. But if you're a wholesaler, knowing what, your buyers are your customers. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're a restaurant, you have to understand what kind of customers, the demographic of people you're looking to acquire to come in your restaurant. You know what I mean? So you have to understand the price point they need to be at, the neighborhood you're in, where your restaurant is, where you want to price your things at. So it's the same thing with this. We have a product and we have a customer, and we have to understand where, if we're inviting our customers to see this property, we have to understand where they're at and what kind of numbers they run and what projects they've done in the past and what they're looking to do with the property. That way, when you're talking to them on the phone, your buyers, you can have that conversation, and it's like, hey, you bought this property at 123 Main Street off me a year ago, same kind of numbers, same kind of, difference and things like that. And, I think this one works because X, Y, and Z. And that's kind of how, it's a good way to sell some of your deals. Yeah, absolutely. When the market shifts, so a few months ago, when things everybody was sort of freaking out, do you reach out to some of your buyers list and just see where people are at? Or since you're, heavy wholesaling, I assume that's a thing you need to make sure you keep your finger on that pulse.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what I did when everyone was kind of freaking out about that a couple months ago, what I did is I doubled down on my buy and hold investors. The people who are kind of like doctors, finance guys, kind of just a lot of cash in the bank. I was actually just got off the phone with him today, my best buyer. He works at UBS, just a big finance guy, manages money for, big time clients and things like that. And he's just looking for a place to park his money. You know what I mean? Whether, 7-8% is good to him on return. That's really all he's looking for. You know what I mean? He's just trying to build up a portfolio. So, people like him, I reached out to, I skip trades more buy and hold people in the area, networked with more people who are looking for buy and holds, because the flippers were getting a little tight, and rightfully so. They had that, they had great reasoning to be tight. You know what I mean? But, the buy and hold guys are kind of like, I don't know, rents are still good for us, stock market sucks for us. So, real estate is always a good place to park my money. So I just reach out to more buy and hold people in the area rather than flippers, And instead of getting, 3 flippers in the door and 3 buy and hold guys, I was just going, 6 buy and hold guys, 0 flippers, just because, they needed somewhere to park their money. And, there were better buyers at the time. But right now, it's back to normal for me. I'm not seeing much of a flippers are playing again as they should be. So
Nice. Yeah. So moral of the story, guys, is just to keep tabs on where your customers, your buyers are at, and build those relationships and make sure that you're in tune
and
with
treat
what
them
they're
well.
looking-
Like, not to cut you off, but like,
No, go ahead.
again, they're your customer. Like, ask how their project's going. Ask, like, do you need any, like, in the middle of the transaction when there's, you're kind of pulling both arms and things like that as a wholesaler, like, ask if they need anything from the seller. Do you need me to go to the property? Like get in tune with their business, and you know what I mean? It's like that goes a long way. Again, that's your customer. So you take care of them, they'll take care of you as well. So it's worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a relationship business.
Sure.
Santiago, what do you got?
What was your turnaround time from start to finish with this?
Way too long for a hotel.
I know
Way
the
too
feeling.
long.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, but for a hotel, like, you know what I mean? So we bought this in late October. I can stop screen sharing now. But yeah, I think we bought this in late October. It's probably right here. Oh, yeah. 26 in October. And we closed in right here, about a week and a half ago. So half of that was our fault for sure. Not just being on point as much as we could have been. So we probably could have trimmed that down by a good 3 weeks, just being better operators, to be completely honest. But and then, not to make excuses, but there were other couple of variables. We had to remove an oil tank. So it's not like we could have just called, the oil tank guy and he's out there that same day. You know what I mean? We were about a week and a half off his schedule. So, that took some time. It takes him about a week to, do his thing with that and test the soil, give it back to the town. And then over that, when that storm hit over the holidays, we lost electricity. There was a flood or a leak in the kitchen. So it took a plumber a week and a half to get out there, fix that. That took a couple days. And the buyers were smart. Our buyers were looking to rent this out to students for the fall coming up in the next semester. So they were trying to, delay it a little bit and get back to you a little bit later, because they understood that, their carrying costs are important to them. So, they wanted to get it ready just for, I don't know, August, mid-August, maybe. That's when they're really going to get their tenants in there and shop it out. So they were smart about that as well. And they probably played the game right and extended that maybe another 2.5 weeks more than it should have. But still, I put the blame on us. There's about 3 or 4 weeks where we could have squeezed this down a little bit more, for sure.
I'm sure definitely something to keep in mind for the next one, right?
Absolutely, brother.
You also, similar thing that I had to deal with, because I closed on my property like mid-October, so you closed on this like late October, is purchasing in October, you're dealing with the major holidays of the year, right? You got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, you got New Year's. So, Christmas and New Year's, almost no one's working for that entire week. So kind of just throws it out.
The worst week there is.
Yeah, for business.
For us people. Yeah, it's the worst week.
I agree. Yeah, let's I actually want to reach out to you separately, because I was just looking geographically where this is, and this isn't like an hour and a half away from me, and I was traveling 2 hours to get to Farmington on certain days. So I think there's
absolutely
some potential for you and I in the future.
Absolutely, brother.
I didn't know you were that far northeast in Connecticut. I thought you were closer, like towards the center. So
I love foreclosures. Foreclosures are in Connecticut. I'm there.
All right. All right, man. Let's
They're
talk.
killing it right now. For anyone who's direct to seller, foreclosures are like, if you're looking for your first deal, I honestly would pull a foreclosure list. That's the fastest way to a deal, in my opinion. Others might have a different opinion, but I don't know.
How are you doing your outreach to your foreclosures right now, Drew?
Texting, calling. like so cold calling, and then mass texting, and then door knocking as well. Door knocking, I'm not really getting a list and going and door knocking like 30 doors on a weekend. It's more if I get ghosted and I know I'm really confident it's a deal, I'll show up to the door. You know, if there's a sale date on it in like 3 or 4 weeks, they're telling me no, but I'm seeing there's nothing, you know, they're not doing anything about it. You know, I'll go door knock them. So a lot of foreclosures, I'm like very niche about the door knocking, but mainly cold calling. I have my VA call, text, and then the ones I feel really good about, I'll hand dial them myself still and door knock them myself.
Love it. Thanks, man.
Cherry pick door knocking. Exactly.
Love it. Can you, Claudio asked, and I'm curious too, can you talk about your PPC stuff?
Yeah, PPC's definitely expensive, for sure. So I don't really recommend it for everybody because, you know, you'll go 2 months and be like, what the hell am I doing? But on a 12-month play, it's really hard not to be extremely in the positive. That's why I like it. They're highly motivated. Like the wholesale deal I have right now, we should be closing next week. I mean, they're the type of calls where, you know, they invite you over, they want you over to the property, and they're ready to shake your hand when you're in their living room. And, you know, they're ready to close in 20 to 30 days. Not all of them are like that. So if anyone wants to get in PPC, it's not like all the leads are going to be, you know, tons of equity for cat. You know, they're not all going to be the right person, but PPC is definitely an unbelievable lead source when it comes to motivation. Absolutely, like, without a doubt. I use Brandon Bateman. He's been on Wholesale Hotline before. He's been on Trang's podcast twice, I believe. He's a real estate PPC operator, specifically real estate. That's his niche. So he's got data from all across the country with keywords, all that stuff. I don't know what he's talking about when I meet with him once a month. I don't even know what words he's saying, but I trust him, and it's good. It's good stuff. So big fan of PPC for sure.
How have the past few months been for you with PPC? Mainly January, February, as far as the leads coming in, lead flow.
Yeah, the lead flow. I remember I reached out to Z about it. Maybe like 3 months ago. I reached out to Z. I was like, "Hey, what's going on with your PPC flow?" Like mine's like, I got like 1 or 2 in like a month. Tim, I don't know. That might have been November, December, one of those months. And then after that, it's been normal. It's been 2 or 3 a week, I'd say. But you know, that's all you really need to convert 1 a month, in my opinion. Like I said, you know, I'm doing a 2-family closing next week in West Haven on a PPC lead with a decent spread. I mean, these people are they're definitely ready to go. But you know, you're going to get competition on them. The sellers are. It's just like if you reach out to any quote on Google, you know, they're going to fill out 3 or 4 forms, most of them. So you could expect, you know, try not to be the first one. You know what I mean? They're going to take your thing and be like, oh, my other buyer, you know, they're going to shop it around for sure, PPC seller. So that's something to be careful of as well. They're going to have 4 people come over just like that. And, you know, they're going to see, you know, who's the best. But other than that, I love them. I love them.
Question on what you just said, Drew, as far as like them trying to shop you around because they're obviously speaking to more than one person, trying to be savvy. Are you having somebody like, are you just sending out contracts to them, or are you walking them through the contract to get it signed on the spot so they're not shopping you around and, you know, jerking your chain?
Yeah, so I've been the method scorching the earth is what I've been doing. So I'm pretty much telling the seller, like right when I walk in the door, I was like, listen, you know, I know you have a lot of people coming by, making you offers. I'm probably not, you know, the best buyer for you. You know what I mean? I probably can't get, you know, I might not be your best guy, but I know a couple things about, you know, some other investors in the area. Let me just, you know, teach you a couple things about what to look out for off-market investors. And I go down, you know, make sure they're showing you a proof of funds, make sure they're giving you hefty down payment, very significant. Again, I really harp on the proof of funds because I'm like, if they're paying, because these people need to sell fast. Most of these people, they're not looking to get jerked around at this situation. I mean, they're literally going on Google and typing in,
My house fast.
yeah, like they're not looking to not sell their house fast, So I just warn them, like, look, some of these people, if they're going to say they're buying your house cash, just make sure, they can show you a bank account with the LLC in it, with the appropriate funds in it if they're going to pay for it, right? So just be careful of that. Make sure, either they're putting down a down payment. If you need anything real estate related, let me know. I'd be happy if it's a different buyer. And he's got a couple things in the contract that you don't understand, give me a call. I'd be happy to answer those as well. And I still walk to the property, talk with the person, and then make an offer as well. But I think that trust in the like, hey, like I'm probably not your guy, is let me teach you what's going on out there in the real estate world. These people have no idea. It's just maybe the first house they've ever sold. So especially off market, not being represented by a buyer, it's challenging for them. So for a guy to come in there and be like, hey, put yourself in their shoes. I'm probably not your best fit, but just be careful of a couple things. Now that I'm out here, I might as well, talk about a couple things with these coming from these other buyers. So look out for X, Y, and Z, essentially.
We have Tom asking, is your proof of funds from your buyer, or where are you showing them your proof of funds?
It's a good question. So it's funny because I've yet to be asked that after I scorched the earth. Swear. It's the funniest thing, guys.
The trust that you built with them.
Dude, I swear, I'm not kidding. I could show you the texts. I could show you the down payments. I told this guy, this West Haven 2-family, I said, don't, go under contract with someone who's not interested in putting down at least $5,000 deposit. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? They got to put skin in the game. If they have the cash, they have to do it. He signed a DocuSign with me. I had $500 down payment deposit. Swear to God, I could show you the text, the contract, everything.
You got a zero, bro.
They don't ask at that point. They really don't. I mean, I'm dead serious.
Love it.
But worst case scenario, if it's if you have a good relationship with like a hard money lender in your area that can quickly give you a proof of funds, that's the route I do go down. I've done it before, you know what I mean? But most of these people, once you warn them about it, they won't even ask you about it. It's crazy.
Yeah. But if you had to, like, for example, like you just mentioned, a hard money lender can easily provide you with a proof of funds letter.
Exactly. Yep.
We actually had another question in the chat too from Claudio. Going back to PPC, he asked, have you ever considered running your own campaign?
Yeah, I did when I first got into PPC, but that is like, there's not a bigger weakness to me than that type of stuff, man. I'm not anti it. I don't say people shouldn't be doing it, but that is so out of my league and out of my game that running my own Google campaigns is so not me in every way possible. So, but yes, I have considered it, but for like 5 seconds.
Tom asked earlier, I don't know if you answered this one. What is PPC? Could you break that down?
Yeah, so it's pay-per-click ads on Google. So if you go on Google and type in, iPhones, something like that, you're probably going to see Apple with a ad. It's going to have a little word ad next to it, and they're going to be at the top of the list. And you're pretty much bidding to rank at that top of the list there for an ad based upon certain keywords the consumer is typing in Google. So for us, certain keywords would be, I don't run my campaign, so I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming it's things along the line of someone buy my house fast, cash, sell your house fast, in Connecticut, something along those lines. And then my ad algorithm, whatever it is, picks it up and, it ranks me at the top based off of bidding system.
Awesome. anyone else have anything for Drew?
I've actually got one technical question as far as like how your PPC is set up. Do you I forget the guy who you're working with, but does he set up a website for you? You own the website, you own the Google Ads account, right? Does he share all that information with you? Like, how does that setup look for you?
Yeah, so I had a website before it all. Like I had my own website, domain, all that stuff before I even decided to do PPC. So the only thing he's really created in terms of the website is a landing page for the ad. So that's the only thing he's done. I had a website before, but he created more of a landing page when they click on the ad, certain questions to fill in. And that's the notification I get via email and via text message.
Gotcha. And on a, as far as what he's adding for value each month, is he going in and is he updating like negative AdWords, things like that, negative keywords? Or
Yeah, so
how
we
is
have,
he maintaining that account?
Yeah, so we have one call a month. And essentially, he shows you, all his graphs and metrics and all that stuff. He's just insane. But, again, he's a great guy to work with because he's real estate niche, right, across the whole country. So he has this data that he gets from all of his clients who are all real estate investors in this space. So he has a really good idea, every month, what's working, what's hot, what's a little cold, what to change, and things of that nature. And he shares that with you and upgrades it, monthly at the minimum. And he is Brandon Bateman. I think the company is Bateman Collective is the PPC company. And he's been on Train once or twice, his podcast, and Wholesale Hotline once, I believe.
So he has a company specifically to help people with their PPC.
Correct.
Got it.
And he's got employees. Like I meet with a manager, account manager. So it's not just a one man shop.
Drew, I just have a quick question. It goes back. I think it's probably a self-explanatory answer because of what you had to pay for it. But is there not a test that could be done to tell if a tank is leaking before it's dug up out of the ground so you would know?
No, there actually isn't, unfortunately. So you kind of, I believe the oil tank guy, his name's John Take Speak On is his company. But what he mentioned to me is he had a pretty good idea that it was not leaking when he tested. I forget what he said exactly, but no, so to answer your question, no, there isn't. But based off of like his information and how he like studied the backyard and things like that when he was walking out there, he had a pretty decent idea and theory that it wasn't. I don't know how accurate he is. I mean, who knows? I'm sure he's wrong a lot. But it is a formal like test to see if it's leaking. Not before you pull it, not that I know of. I mean, I'm pretty sure you got to, dig it up and see what's going on down there.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that.
Of course, brother.
Nice. Appreciate it, Drew. Anything else, guys, on PPC or anything else Drew covered? Cool. Well, we have like 45 minutes left. Drew, appreciate you breaking that down, coming on, giving us.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was valuable.
You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome.
What's a good way for people to reach out to you if they have questions or want to work with you?
Yeah, I'll put my number in the side there and Instagram. I love Instagram. I'm always on there. So I'll put my handle there as well.
Perfect. So we have like 45 minutes left. We can either, if anyone else has a deal or a question or.
I actually have a question. Because so Z's not in here, is he?
I don't think he is right
No, he's
now.
not.
He
Tim,
jumped
you
out.
guys run PPC with Z, right?
Yeah. I handle the PPC now.
Gotcha. Do you get leads that are for out of state properties? So it's like someone from Maine who's like
Sometime.
living in Maine and they go and that's why they see your ad, but it's actually for a property out of state. Do you get that?
I've gotten them from California and they don't even have a property in Maine. So they don't live in Maine. They just, I don't know how they got into our site. But yeah, I have gotten those
Gotcha.
out of states a lot.
Okay. Me too. That confuses me because that doesn't make any sense. I was just hoping other people had that issue.
One thing that
Not hoping, but
a different thing too that you made me think of just now is we're getting pixel leads from the company, from iSpeed the Lead. So the people that only half filled out the form, we're actually reaching out to those people as well. And I'm trying to get the people that didn't fill out their names and just have the address. I'm trying to get those leads too. So it's just that a couple extra layers.
Gotcha. What
I don't know if
about
he's giving you
listed
those.
properties?
Listed
You got
properties?
some listed.
Yeah, of course. I get listed
know.
properties.
Those suck.
I get
hate
properties where I can't ever get a hold of anybody. I've got
Yep.
yeah, I've got a couple of those.
And then you will get a couple, you know, I don't know if they're competitors. I'm not sure what they are, but there are every once or twice a month. I get someone draining the pockets a little bit, putting in some stuff. You know,
I got a call from John Luca off of one of my for one of the ads. John Luca, y'all know who John Luca is up here? He's a big wholesaler in Portland, Maine.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So the ads are actually running on YouTube. I found out last week that most of our clicks come from off of Google, not on Google, right? So they come from like third-party sites like YouTube and stuff like that. So that's cool.
Oh, no shit. Wow.
Yeah.
You guys do Facebook ads too, or no?
No.
Okay.
No, I heard they're junk, but I'm not sure. I've never
Yeah,
done
I
it.
did them with Bateman. And it was like after like 2 or 3 months, I was just like, this got to go. This is not. Talk about fake leads.
I think Mr. Interesting.
They all come in at like 2 a.m. and they're just like some guy on their couch fiddling on Facebook, just like
Yeah,
put in
Facebook
some
ads are
nonsense.
horrible.
Horrible it is.
Plenty of tire kickers, but yeah, like that 1 to 2 a month is they're
Crazy.
gold. Yeah.
Crazy.
Easy conversations too. Super easy conversations. Even the tire kickers are easy conversations.
It's different leverage in the conversation because
Absolutely.
they're reaching out to you. So it's like you could be a little more, aggressive at times, though. You know what I mean? You could be more of the controller on the phone at times. It's a different, the room shifts a little bit when it's coming in. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, I definitely agree with that. I do want to hit you up. I took your number down. I'm going to hit you up sometime this week. I'd like to compare notes with you.
Absolutely, brother.
All right. Thanks, man.
I have a left field question. Brian, what happened with that call that you made last week, 2 weeks ago? Any news on that?
Yeah, I think that was last week. Anyways, so that was Thursday. Friday, he dropped it 10,000 and then took it off market Friday. So then I called him on 2 days ago. He said that they went under contract Monday and that they're set to close in a week. So I said I'll follow back up with him whatever this time next week to see if everything went through.
Perfect. Love it. Love the follow-up. All right, guys. Well, does anyone have any questions or deals that they want to run through or need help on? Or
I have a question. You all hear me?
Yep.
All right. So what I'm running into, I'm going calling realtors, especially with a seller finance option. A lot of the realtors tell me, nope, they just want to be done with the property and just forget about it. They just want to sell it, forget about it. How do you guys get around that? Because like I don't know if you actually talk to the seller or not. I don't know like if that's even the truth. Like how would some of you kind of navigate around that to kind of get more info?
Honestly, I would just ask him straight up. So what happens if you're not able to get this price, right? Or what happens if they're not able to sell? Like what if questions, kind of get them talking more. You're never gonna know unless you talk to the seller if they actually talk to them.
Yeah, and of course I can't do that. I mean, I could, but I'd really be walking on a thin line right there.
Yeah, I mean, have someone else call the seller.
Yeah. And because the reason I know he lied to me was because the first question I asked when I talked to him, I said, "Is there a mortgage on the property?" And I already knew the answer because I already checked. And he goes, "Hold on, let me close my door." He goes, "Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really talk to him about a mortgage." And then I asked him about the seller finance deal. Then he says, "No, I've already talked to them about that. They don't want to do it." Well, like you don't even know there's a mortgage in the place. How would you even have that conversation? Anyway, that's all. That was my question.
Corey, do you as an agent, do you know when other agents' listing will expire, or do you just guesstimate it?
I don't know because it won't have that in the MLS unless it expires. Typically they're 6 months because you got to give time to put it on the market, have it sit on the market. Well, hopefully not sit, and then go under contract and then close. So usually 6 months is pretty typical, 6, 9, or 12 months.
I just watched recently a video with Jerry Norton talking about just doing deals with on market with agents involved, and just he hounds them and follows up. So he'll call them every week, every 2 weeks, and say like, "Hey Corey, you want to present my offer?" And they'll tell him like, "They already rejected your offer." "Well, Corey, has the property sold?" "No." "Well, then present my offer again."
Yeah, that makes sense.
On the call.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially as they get closer and closer to that 6-month deadline.
Yeah.
A no in day 1 is not necessarily a no in day 450. A lot can change.
Oh, exactly.
350, whatever.
Right, but also, Corey, you might know the better answer to this, and I'm a licensed agent as well, but Corey certainly works in the field more than I do. But there's also, even after a listing expires, if you had that conversation with the listing agent, they might still be able to prove that they assisted in the procurement of the sale, so they can still hunt down a commission. Is that right, Corey?
So yeah, in the listing agreement, it'll have usually it's like 3 months, a 3 month.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, like
window,
90 days.
Like after the expiration, right? But that's only if I, as a buyer agent, brought that buyer to that home, showed that home to that buyer, right? Listing expires, gets taken off the market. The seller then goes to that buyer, and that buyer buys the home. It's only
what if you're the buyer?
If I'm the buyer as the agent,
yeah,
then I don't think that would matter. But if I brought a buyer and then they ended up buying it after the listing expired, I can go hunt down a commission.
You still can. They can't make the argument that you made the decision that you wanted to become the buyer based on the conversation that you had with the seller agent.
You're talking about me as the buyer.
Yeah.
I was talking about like me bringing a buyer. If that buyer went and bought after the expiration with that seller, then I could.
Right, but if you locked it up
I don't know how that conversation would go.
Yeah, me either. That's why I was wondering if you knew that information, because I just kind of thought about that. Sorry.
Well, if it expires, I mean, hey, it's expired. Do you want to sell your property? I mean, we don't have to put it back on the MLS. Let's just do it,
Right, but so if it's off market, then it's not. Then they can't argue that they assisted in the procurement of sale due to the conversation that you had with them prior.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I'm not sure. I'm totally just asking.
Mhm.
Sounds like it, I mean, I've never heard of that, but it sounds like it'd be very difficult for them to try to prove it though. It's like the burden of proof would be on them, so they really.
Yeah. I'd have to like go in the CRS, like see if the property sold, and then pull up the property address in there and then see who owns the property. And if it's a person that I showed the property to while it was on the market, then yeah, I'd be like, oh,
Mhm.
guess what? It's, you know,
Gotcha.
depending on how much the commission is how much I'm gonna work for it, you know. If it's even
Right.
I have a question, guys. So Drew mentioned this. He said, you know, if you're looking for your first deal, and again, I'm a newbie, but you're looking for your first deal, he said, you know, foreclosure. Listening earlier today to Caroline, you know, she said, if you want a deal in the next 30 days, foreclosure. Now, I don't know, is that nationwide, meaning that like in this area, okay, so I'm New Hampshire, so Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, is that still a workable strategy in this area, as opposed to, you know, sometimes I get on these other Zoom calls and listen, and you don't know if it's specific to their area or not. So I'm just trying to see if you guys have done those type deals and what kind of market is there for that out here.
That's a Noli question.
What's that? Oh, okay.
Sorry, can you say that again? I'm kind of simultaneously watching the Bruins game, and I got caught up for a second. Sorry, Tom, say that again.
Yeah, no problem. So no, it was like I was saying that Drew said a little bit ago, and then also a Zoom I was listening to Caroline earlier today. It was like, hey, if you want to get your first deal, you know, in the next 30 days, foreclosure. Okay. Again, I'm a newbie at this, and I was just wondering, is that in the area that we work in here, so the New England type area and stuff, is that still a workable strategy, or is that tend to be pockets? So like when I listen to another Zoom, it's like, yeah, that's a great strategy. Oh, for where we are kind of stuff. So I was just wondering if you guys have deals like that, and if that's a good place to actually still look.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing about foreclosures is you have to really understand it, and you have to understand how to navigate those conversations with people that are in financial distress. Chances are, if they're in that kind of financial distress, there's a lot of other stuff going on. And you end up kind of being a part-time psychologist. So you got to understand how to navigate that. There's a lot that goes into it. And I think a lot of people suggest to go after foreclosures first, because there is already a pain point. There's already some leverage, that there's like a lot of information behind. But what I would say, and something that I was kind of talking to Corey about earlier today, is that if you have a specific background that you're involved in, you already are experienced in something, it could be FSBOs, it could be equity, it could be loans, it could be foreclosures, it could be anything. If you have a strength, work with that strength and use that to target your specific lists. There's a billion different kinds of lists out there. There's a billion different ways to provide value to these homeowners that maybe weren't even intending on selling their property until you had the conversation with them to let them know where they were at, you know, and let them know what their options are. Foreclosures are great. That's where I started. That's where a lot of people start. Some people start, I don't know, Santiago, you may have started right away with flips, right? And if flips is your game, then you use that as your angle. And you like the point of it all is you got to provide some form of value to these people in order to build that relationship. And if you know foreclosures, go for it. If you don't, and you want to know more about foreclosures, do some serious research, listen to some calls, you know, some live Zooms that people have done some calls, and write down some notes of the things that they say that hit home to you. But really the truth of the matter is work with your skill set to start. And then once you feel like you've kind of mastered that and you've exhausted that lead type, then move on to another. So Tom, if you want to have a conversation at some point about what your strengths are and things like that, I'd be happy to talk you through some of that stuff.
All right, Noli, thank you so much for that information. I appreciate it. And
Yeah,
thanks
of
for
course.
putting yourself out there. And yeah, I'm always looking to learn. So I'll probably, reach out to you, and just everybody else, since I've been in this community has been awesome. So, so thank you for putting
Yeah,
yourself.
and I'm a master of none, but
There you
I
go.
like to continue to learn. And I learned something, you and I can have a conversation about something that you think you might not know anything about. And then you could ask me a question that's like, I need to know more about that. And we could look through that together and try to find a solution.
All right, cool, brother. Thank you so much.
I love
Yeah,
it.
you got it,
Hey,
guys.
Hey,
thanks for
Tom,
that
have you
question,
been on?
Tom. Thanks
Oh,
for
sorry, go ahead.
thanks for that, Noli. Hey,
And somebody was
I want
saying
to bring
something.
something back.
Somebody was saying something to me, Tim.
No, I appreciated the question, man. That
Oh,
was a
okay.
good question.
All right, cool.
And so I think it's time to bring back something that we haven't done in a while. We have 30 minutes left, so I think if we do one-on-one breakout rooms for the next 20 minutes and just see where everybody's at, right? Just get to know somebody in the group. Are y'all down for that?
One-on-one or groups?
One-on-one.
On one.
I don't
I'm
think there's
thinking
much
like
time for
three.
groups.
Groups of three? No? 2, 3?
One-on-one. One-on-one, Kaza. You get your week, I get my week.
He's
All
dying on
right.
himself.
All right, guys. Hey, I'm just gonna break it in half. All right, guys. I'll see y'all in 20 minutes. What's up, Luca? You gonna jump in the breakout room?
Hey, Joe? Joe, let me know if you can hear me. I cannot hear you.
Yo, Joe, what's going on, man?
What up, Mr. Z?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I didn't mean to leave you in here by yourself.
Well, no, I was on a call with Sharky, and then I was having some technical difficulties.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
It was a good meeting tonight, though. How'd
Was
your
it
day
good?
go?
Yeah. It was good. I had the appointment this morning, and then I was out in Limerick. And that's some of that stuff done. Kitchen is basically almost installed, so just got to do final touches. Hopefully, get that done this weekend.
Yo, you did a good job over there at that Lewiston property, too. That thing looks badass, man.
Yeah, man, that place came out nice.
Yo. Not bad, not bad. That thing's gonna sell like wildfire, man.
Yeah, I mean, the kitchen in Limerick is fucking badass, bro. It looks so nice.
Yo, I can't wait to see pictures of that.
Yeah. Show for sure.
Lowe's finally got it right, though, huh?
No, they still fuck up some stuff, but
It's not surprising. I'm about to close out these rooms here in a second. Yo.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Tim, I don't think we talked before.
No, we haven't talked yet, man. How are you?
How's it going? Good.
It's going good, David. Not too bad, man.
You're like a leader, aren't you?
Not really. I just do stuff.
Oh, I thought you were.
I just act like I am.
Well, that was
You're like
fun.
Z's partner, right?
Yeah, me and Z work together.
Cool.
I hope everybody enjoyed y'all's breakout rooms. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a good one.
No pressure,
David.
Tim. I was nervous, but thank you. It worked out well. I got to speak to who I wanted to.
Yo, I love it. I love it. David, we're gonna have to connect later, all right? My phone number is in,
Sounds good, buddy.
on my name, okay? So just
Oh yeah, I'll take a
shoot me
quick
text.
screenshot.
Yeah, just shoot me a text.
Cool.
Doug,
Alright.
if you can hear me, sorry for interrupting everyone, but I was really interrupted while I was talking to my fellow friend here. Send
I
me
gave you 60
send me your
seconds.
information. I don't see
I
your
gave
phone
you
number.
60 seconds.
That's not enough, bro.
I gave you 4 minutes. I told you 4 minutes.
Yeah, Jorge, you're in Discord. I'll hit you up. I'll friend request you.
All right, sounds good. We'll stay connected.
Cool, man.
All right.
No, I'm glad y'all enjoyed it though. Sorry for the interruption. We only had 10 minutes left. Usually after these, I like to go through and like kind of see how everybody's conversation went, see where you're at in your business. We only have 10 minutes. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So let's just go over some of the big things. Does anybody have anything that they wanted to share from their conversation? Like any takeaways, any big takeaways?
Yeah, Tim, those breakout rooms are so cool. Why have we never done those before?
Yo, because somebody didn't like them and he wanted to crush everybody's spirits. Yeah, Alan. No,
Hey, the only reason
I think they're great. I really enjoy the breakout rooms. And if everybody doesn't like them, then you can beat me up later. What's that, Alan? I didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
I thought it was the breakfast room. That's why I stuck around. But anyway, I ended up with Jonathan, so we ended up having a great catch-up conversation. So.
Oh God, Jesus! Y'all were probably talking trash about me the whole time in the breakout rooms, huh?
No, no, no.
The entire
breakout
time.
rooms and
The whole
the
time.
worst thing. Why couldn't we just go over a deal? I love it, man. Yeah, I do hope everybody's got something out of their breakout rooms. Does anybody else have anything that they wanted to talk about?
I just want to say this was being new here. This was my first breakout room, and I had Claudio, and just, you know, it'd be one thing to say, well, he's the exception to the rule, but all you guys are awesome. But just the conversation I had with him and stuff, especially with what I was talking about pre-foreclosures or foreclosures and stuff, just awesome conversation. And, you know, he said, hey, you know, after this, reach out, you know, let's talk now after this. So just that the breakout room was awesome, because I don't think I would have ever had like that one-on-one conversation. Not that you guys aren't open, but there's always so much going on and stuff. So that was awesome. So thank you for that, Tim.
Man, you're so lucky you got Claudio. I'm sure you guys are all.
I told him he drew the
So
short
lucky.
straw, and he got the newbie. He, you know, it's like when he saw my name, he's like, "Oh God, who do I have now?" But no, it was cool.
Not fair, Tim. I wanted Claudio.
Good.
Bro,
I'm the
not everybody
pre-foreclosure
can get
whisperer.
Claudio. Not everybody can get Claudio. Tom,
Yeah,
I'm
we
glad
pre-foreclosures for breakfast.
There you go. That's it. There you go.
Ari, do you want to announce the event again?
Did it already get announced?
It did a little.
Oh, sweet. Then I don't have to announce it again. As long as everyone heard, we're good. I'll send something out later though.
At random Starbucks in Connecticut.
Hey, random Starbucks are always good. We're aiming to make it big enough that they have to kick us out.
I've only been kicked
if
out of
anyone's
one
around,
place.
especially people in
so
the
far.
like New Haven area, down closer to New York, would love to see anyone. Keith, I think Joe said that you were planning on coming. Joe, I know you're on here. He was the one that organized it, so I take zero credit for any of it. He hit me up this morning and said that that's what he was doing. So love to hear that. And yeah, we'll do whatever to make it happen and drum up some interest in it. That's all I got.
Yo. Bro, I can't wait till the, what is it, 22nd? April 22nd. I can't wait till the quarterly. It's going to be live. Yeah, I can't wait to see all of you in person, honestly. I do want to thank everybody that like showed up tonight. Chelsea, you did an awesome job, like way better than I can ever do. Nobody likes me whenever I'm on here.
Yeah, big shout
Yeah.
out.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for all showing up.
Yeah, you were awesome. Justin Tumanowski, I know he's not on here anymore, but he did a great presentation. And Drew Tarantino definitely blew me away with what he's doing out there.
Thank you, Chelsea. It's awesome seeing different people take the lead all the time. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if nobody has anything, does anybody have anything before we get off here? I hate jumping off early, but
5 minutes. I don't really have anything super important, but I am flying to San Antonio tomorrow morning. And we'll be on a plane from like 5 in the morning until noon or something like that. So I should have Wi-Fi. I'll put my number on Discord if people have any questions or anything. I'm literally just gonna be sitting on a plane. So hit me up, ask questions, chat, introduce yourself. Entertain me. I got 6 hours.
Oh yeah. I'm probably gonna call you.
I don't know if you can call, but text and maybe an audio message here and there. Might be a way.
Send gifts. So you guys can send gifts back and forth.
Oh yeah, yeah. The more creative, the better. We'll have to do something for the most creative gift that I get. Some prize for the winner.
Oh, there you go, Corey. There's the
trophy.
Cool.
All right, guys. Ari, I'm just gonna call you. I'm gonna try it. So
good deal.
If nobody has anything else, we do have some good events coming up in the near future. If you're out in Connecticut, definitely hit that Starbucks up. I don't remember which Starbucks it is, but it's a random one out there.
I'm gonna be sending out an Eventbrite for that one, so don't worry, you'll have it all.
It's on it.
I love it. And there's a flyer in the Discord too that Joe put out. Maine's gonna have we're gonna have our event out here in Portland. I think it's John Luca, correct me if I'm wrong, but 1 Commonwealth Avenue.
Wait, is this
we
at
haven't
his
established a time.
flip?
What's that?
Is it at his flip that he was working on?
Not the flip. This is actually going to be at his church.
Oh, yes. Oh, we
Yeah.
went. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he'll take you to his flip afterwards. It's not far.
Yeah, is that flip done?
Oh my God, I gotta tell you guys all about it.
Oh man.
Should we do the meetup at your flip? Should we do the meetup at your flip, John?
Yeah, we should if we can.
We can meet there.
Can we?
We can. Yeah, I've been backed up. There's so many things I can tell you guys about it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's okay. That's the story. That's what makes it so awesome.
Yeah, before, during, and after. All right. So we have to have 3 meetups at your flip. All right, cool.
We can.
Now that we're
If you guys
agreeing on
want,
that.
you got it.
Perfect. So you guys need to.
So yeah, let's plan for that.
Yeah. Let's start a group chat tomorrow and we'll iron out the details.
Awesome.
Love
All
it.
right. Okay, guys. I'm gonna say it again. If nobody has anything else, anything last minute. But other than that, I hope all of you have a great week.
I think we still have time for one more quick breakout room.
Goodbye.
Alan, I'll make a breakout room for you. You want a breakout room real quick? All right, guys. Have a great night.
Hey, you too.
Night, everyone.
Everybody.
Thanks, everyone.